cute.
How's it hanging, Phil?
What's the prime time, bitch?
Come and get it! So either put the gun down now, or kiss your ass goodbye.
Let's get this party started.
I agree, Dana. Let's get this party started. So, welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror. Now, as always, we are here with two amazing people, two of the best friends you could have, two of the greatest content creators on this platform. So, over here, we have the gentleman that will be narrating my life story when that book comes out on audio tape, Mr. Knight of the Nightwatch Zone. Knight, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be here.
We are so glad to have you. It's been amazing. It's been a long time coming to have you guys here again. We've missed you both very much. Down here we have the one and only, the conductor of the stew train. We got Mr. Craven, something scary. How you doing, Craven?
I'm great, man. Thanks for the invitation. Again, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you two and to put Night in the mix. Man, dude, just sign me up. It's this time of the day, and it's gonna happen.
A good time.
Working with you guys is like peanut butter and jelly, man. If I'm having one, I'm always craving the other. So no pun intended there.
That was good.
That's right, man. I like it.
So before we actually get rolling, Russell's here. What's going on, Russell?
Hey, Russell.
Val, the general, is here. What's up, Val? Gory Tiger, what's going on? Nice to see you. We got some love coming your way, Steven. Hope you're feeling better. I know that been battling it, going through it right now, but
yes,
we appreciate you still being here.
Absolutely, man.
Horror Beast, excited for this one. Big things coming. We hope you have a great time. Hey, Kyle, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, man.
Dog lovers here. Hey,
Hi.
while we're on the subject of absolutely amazing content creators, that horror couple is here in the chat.
Hey.
Have Cheetah Will View. What's up, Patrick?
Hello.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, man.
Shaim is here.
Hey, Shaim.
Louie, what's up, buddy? Oh, hey, here we go. Great panel. I've been looking forward to this.
All right.
Thank you so much, Charles. We appreciate it. And since we got a donation, I'm taking a page out of Steven's book. You know what that means.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Those damn enchiladas.
Damn enchiladas.
Yes.
Well, we now have some more money to buy some enchiladas. So thank you so much, Charles. We appreciate you. Hey, Daniel, what's going on? Hey, guys, I'm new here. Like your stuff so far. Also, number one is going to be something with scissors. Wink, wink.
All right.
Maybe not number one for you, but it is on the list. And not only thank you for coming here and enjoying the channel, but in the description below, I have the links for these two gentlemen's channels as well. So make sure you're subscribing to them. Like I said at the beginning, they're not only great friends, they're great content creators. I love waking up early and having me some coffee in the morning, listening to Night. I love it. Steven is probably one of my absolute favorite live streamers in the business. He teaches me about workplace safety. All these amazing things to help keep us going. So whenever we get to have you guys here on this side is amazing. Oh, that horror couple. Thank you, Ken and Ashley, for always being amazing friends and supporters. Love you guys and your content.
We love you too.
Well, you know what? We did just hit you with the ooh baby, but we do have a new one we're going to start throwing into the fold as well. So how about this one?
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
So I got to throw me some Shaun of the Dead in there for sure. Jen, good afternoon, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
No, it's not horror related, but when Toby Spidey was fighting Venom and the Sandman, I will tell you this. One on my list is not from a horror movie. We did not make this exclusive to horror movies. These are just our favorite jump scares of all time. So I do have one on my list that is not a horror movie.
Mine, I feel is a horror movie, but not everybody probably will think it. But it's totally.
Bet you I know which one yours is.
I bet you.
Did we just do an episode on it?
Yes.
Okay, I know what it is. Good choice already. I'm going to tell you that right now. Good choice. What's up, Nathan?
Hey, Nathan.
Oh, T. Parker's here. What's going on, buddy?
Hey.
So one thing I do want to say real quick. Hey, what's up, real quick, Robin? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Robin.
As always, I don't know Ashley's list. Ashley doesn't know my list, and we don't know these gentlemen's lists. So, we talked a little bit beforehand. Knight, did you say you do or you don't have honorable mentions?
I do, in the sense that I wrote down so many, and of course we only needed 10.
Right.
But I do have one that I have on the list because I was like, man, I gotta have this there too.
Okay.
Right. Well, I will say that Ashley and I each have 2. I know that Knight and Craven each have 1. So let's get started with our honorable mentions. These might be higher on other people's lists, but I'm not just doing these by how great the jump scare is. Something I want to say right now. All of these jump scares on here obviously affected me, some more than others. Now, some that I have lower on my list, like one of my honorable mentions, I think may be one of the best of all time, but it's lower on my list because of the way it affected me. And that's the ending of Carrie with the hand coming out and grabbing. I feel like that's so effective. And at that time, we didn't get a lot of endings that did that. So to me, that's one of my favorite jump scares, obviously. And then the other one is the appearance of the tall man in It Follows, a movie that is near and dear to Ashley and I's heart because of its Detroit roots.
Yeah, that one, that's a good one.
Yeah, but when they open the door and that tall man comes through, I poop my pants. I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. If you got something in Detroit scarier than what we've seen, I'm out. So the tall man in It Follows, definitely another one of my honorable mentions. So
nice.
One last thing I want to say, I don't feel like a movie that has a numerous amount of jump scares makes it a good movie, but a lot of the ones on my list are ones that they are just super effective, maybe because there aren't a lot of jump scares in the film. So when they do incorporate one here or there, it really grabs you.
Absolutely.
Because I know a lot of people messaged me when I brought this list up and was like, hey man, I thought you didn't like jump scares. I thought you didn't like jump scares. I'm not a huge fan. I don't like them. They make me pee myself, and I'm not a fan of that. But if it's done well and it enhances the story, I'm all about it. So
on the other hand, love jump
she
scares.
loves jump scares.
I love the anticipation and the feeling of anxiety. That's why I like going to haunted houses. I like that.
Hate it.
Yeah.
Hate haunted houses. Won't catch me. Get it?
Except for I drag you to one every year.
Every year. And I'm very sad.
There you go.
I do like the adrenaline rush you get, though.
Yeah.
There's something about that little shot of adrenaline. It's like, oh, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like that fight or flight. Like, that's what you get.
I'm the one that's always walking through the haunted houses like, I see you. Don't jump at me. I know you're there.
Warning you.
Come to terms with this. Scare someone else, but they do it anyway.
And they want to get you though because you're the one.
Right.
You're the one that is like, I don't want it. I don't.
You're
want
bringing
it.
them
like,
to you.
Getting him exactly.
Right,
exactly.
Yes.
Right.
See, I'm the guy you don't want to be with in a horror movie. That's me. I'm that guy. You want to give us your honorable mentions, love?
Yeah, so I have 2. One is Poltergeist, and it's that damn clown. I just remember being a kid and just waiting because he keeps looking over there and the clown hasn't moved yet. And then he goes and looks under his bed, and so you expect it to be under his bed, right? And then he gets back on his bed, and there it is, and it that scared me, got me every time, still gets me to this day. And then I had to do The Ring, The Closet, where Katie's mom is talking. It's low, it's too high, huh?
That's wow. I can't believe it's an honorable mention.
I know, just the way like she's talking about how she found her, and then it just does that cut back to her face and how deformed it is. That one gets me every time too.
You're getting Arthur.
That's okay. I have a lot of good jump scares that have affected me throughout my life. Okay, so
at least it's on the list. I'll give you that. So
I have a feeling we may hear about that one again at some point tonight.
We might. We got
Staunch.
How about you, Nate? What's your honorable mention?
Well, one honorable mention that I have is a movie that I really, really love, and it was such a well-made movie, and the jump scare was really effective. And I'm going with The Conjuring, when they're playing the clapping game, and Lily Taylor's on the top of the stairs, and it's just so well done, man. I love that scene so much. I love that movie, and it's just a great scene. And when you see that hand come out, and it's just James Wan is the master. So that's one honorable mention that I have. One other that I threw on there, and It's not so much that it's a jump scare, but when I saw it as a kid, it just really affected the hell out of me. And it's one of the greatest movies of all time. And it's the shower scene in Psycho.
Mhm.
You know, and that's not to say because it's not in my 10 that it's not effective, but it was one of those scenes where it was drawn out because you saw the figure coming to the shower, right? You know, so you knew
Right.
something was going to happen. But as a little kid, when I saw the scene, it was just like so like, you know, it just caught me
Mhm.
off guard. So I had to have that as an honorable mention too.
Right.
Totally respect that
Yes.
one as well.
Very good.
What about you, Craven?
All right, so I have a couple that are, well, I have only one honorable mention, but there are, I think, two other ones that are not horror movies as well that I'm going to
Okay.
talk about. But this one is not a horror movie. And Ken, I have a feeling you're going to appreciate this because I was about 12 years old, and I'll never forget watching this for the very first time at my buddy's house on Betamax. Yes, Betamax.
Wow.
Back
Right.
before VHS had won the war for home video. And it's so funny. You know, it doesn't matter. I'll go Rabbit Trail. I want Rabbit Trail. I'll stay on focus. But his dad worked at one of these electronic stores. He was a super nerd with that stuff, which is great. And so he had all the latest stuff. So we're watching Betamax of this thing. And he's like, you got to come watch this movie. It's called Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I was like, all right, let's go. So
There it
we're
is.
watching this and we're sitting here and we're seeing Pee-wee in his big rig truck as he's trying to get to the Alamo. And then all of a sudden, does she look like this? Or so she says something like this. Large Marge, dude,
Wow.
that happens.
Yeah.
And it like completely freaked me out. Like first of all, I was scared and then laughing at the same time. It was like adrenaline and humor all mixed at one.
Yep.
And when I saw that, we backed it up like 3 or 4 times and watched it over and over again.
Yep.
And I'll just never forget because, you know, when I was a kid, like you mentioned earlier, it's how it impacts you, like in moments.
Mhm.
You
Right.
know, it's more about the moment sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget being in my friend's living room and watching that scene. And
Mhm.
it shocked
I
me.
will say,
It was great.
I have that picture loaded up for a reason.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine.
You
Because
know,
I don't know Craven's list.
Right.
So
true.
if that's a little hint to anything.
You're all right, man.
I love it.
Did you have another one, Craven, or was it just the one?
That's the only one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we will catch up on the chat real quick. Nathan says La Llorona window scene and Bathsheba jump scare.
Mhm.
Very nice.
Oh,
Jump scares are some of the hardest to pull off in a good way. You're absolutely
Yes.
right.
Well, I have a little saying that Alfred Hitchcock used to say.
I love this.
And I love this too. It says there's no terror in the bang, it's only the anticipation of it. So
Love it.
it definitely
Hitchcock knows what he's talking about.
for sure.
Right? Yeah, and exactly. And that's exactly like with the shower scene. It was that lead up. It wasn't even
that
when the stabs were
anticipation.
happening.
Just you
Right.
know
Yes.
you know it's gonna happen. Just when is
Yeah.
it gonna happen?
Right. Exactly.
Right. Good point.
What's up, Ashton, buddy? Hope you're feeling better.
Hey Ashton.
Hey.
I have yet to jump from any scares. Wow. That's amazing.
Jen is a machine, man. She
I
is
know.
hardcore.
Wow.
Creep. I've never seen Creep 1 or 2, and I think I need to get on that because I keep having people tell me that Creep 1 and Creep 2 are very good. So
That's what I keep
I'm
hearing
gonna-
too.
yeah, I'm gonna have to check. Have you seen those, Steven?
Nope, never have.
I'm gonna have to check them out.
Mhm.
Apparently, none of us are real horror fans. So.
No.
I'm sure someone thinks that.
Right.
It's a matter of time.
Yep, it'll happen.
Yep.
Truth or Dare, the demon smiles. Pennywise preparing to eat Georgie's arm.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Mhm.
What's up, Trash Dash?
Hey.
Hey, doesn't matter, man. Jump scares are jump scares. I don't care where it came from.
Right.
Mhm.
I jumped from a cat meowing one time. I'm not even kidding. Like
1408.
it was so loud, like it was really quiet,
Oh.
and then the cat meowed,
Yeah.
and I jumped out of my seat.
And I left.
You
There you go.
jumped too.
What's
I
up,
made you
bipolar?
jump.
Yeah, I jumped at you. My whole list could be Ashley jumping at 1408, Ashley jumping at The Conjuring. That could be my jump scare list.
Hey,
There you go.
I make your jump scares even
You
that
do. You
more
enhance them.
amplified.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yes. It's not. Yeah. You know what? We used to get my little brother Logan with this. Remember the zombie that would come up in the car commercial?
Yeah.
We got our little brother with Logan with that.
Poor kid.
Oh my
The Dark
gosh.
Pictures anthology has some great jump scares. Yeah, The Evil Within has a great jump scare when he walks up to the mirror and he grabs that picture off and he looks behind him and the thing's not there anymore and he turns around and it runs and busts through the window. I audibly screamed at that moment of that video game and my son was like, "Dad, you scared me." I was like, "No, you scared me, you wuss." Actually, you know what, Bipolar? What I will say about this is what The Nun did was tried to base their whole, in my opinion, base the whole movie on jump scares. Rather than having a solid story that kept you intrigued, they made a movie that looked absolutely beautiful with its gothic aesthetic and tried to just give you with a jump scare. If you could have had, I'm very excited to see what
I am too.
they do with The Nun 2.
Yeah.
Me too.
And
Me too.
I'm being optimistic about it.
Well, Akilah Davis is doing it, right? The one that just did Megan?
That did Megan, I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's her. So I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre when Sally and Franklin are out in the woods and Leatherface comes running.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That is a good one.
We're gonna watch them. I've heard nothing but good things about Creep 1 and 2.
Yes, that's a good one.
All right,
that's a good one.
You want to give us your number 10, my love?
Yes. So my number 10 is The Thing, the blood test. This one gets me
baby.
every time. Like, so you know how a lot of the times a jump scare, you have that sound cue that makes it amplified. This one, you don't have any music at all. And you're at this very suspenseful part of the film already. And at this point, you're not even sure that this blood test is actually accurate because none of them, it's not doing anything. And then it gets to the guys that nobody even thinks he has it in him or he's, and it jumps out and it scares me every time.
Fantastic scene in a fantastic movie.
The way they did that,
best.
It's so good. Yeah.
I will say, I don't think I'm as big on The Thing as a lot of other people are. I think it's a fantastic movie. But I will say when it comes to practical effects, top notch.
Yes.
I think it's the best when it comes to practical effects. And I think it's one of the most underrated scores of all time.
Yes.
That's one of the movies that does not get the credit it deserves for the score. It is such an enhancement of the film or the dropping of sound effects.
Yeah. Usually when you have that type, you get that jump scare and you get that loud, music or whatever. And this, you don't have that. So
I have a feeling that John Carpenter guy knows what he's doing a little bit.
I think
I get a little bit of a feeling.
He might.
They call him a carpenter because he knows how to build suspense. So
for sure.
how about you, Knight? What's your number 10?
At number 10, I've got a fantastic movie that literally changed my whole thinking during the summertime. I'm going with Jaws, and I'm going with the scene when we're underwater with Richard Dreyfuss and they're trying to investigate the boat, and all of a sudden, boom, that head pops out and just scares the crap out of you, which was added in. That was originally not in the movie.
Really?
And Steven Spielberg, they just wanted to get a little bit more pop in there. And good God, man, when I saw that as a kid, I don't even know if I peed myself or not, but
they filmed it in Spielberg's swimming pool.
Like after.
Yes.
They premiered it for a test audience, and Spielberg thought that it wasn't scary enough. So he wanted to add something. So he went to his swimming pool and made that scene. That is why Steven Spielberg is Steven Spielberg. Right. There. That's the reason he is what he is because of that type of dedication and having your finger on the pulse right there to know, you know what? We need one thing. What's one thing we can add? And I would almost say that could be one of the most iconic scenes in the whole movie. Obviously, when it comes to quotes, you got your you're gonna need a bigger boat, smile, you son of a. But when it comes to an actual scene, that could be one of the most iconic scenes in the whole film. So,
man, because you had no clue. Yeah, you had no clue what was going on.
Notes I had here about some pre-filming. Great choice, my friend. Great choice. Thanks. So, how about you, Craven? What's your number 10, brother?
Yeah, man. Well, I'll just have to say that particular scene we'll be hearing about again much higher up on my list. Just one FYI. And one other thing, Ken, you mentioned earlier, and I forgot to circle back. You said if you've ever come to Detroit or seen anything in Detroit scarier, let you know. If you've ever seen an episode of Hardcore Pawn, it's scarier than any jump scare I've ever seen. that show, dude, that'll give you nightmares. I watched that but I can't stop watching the reruns, dude. It's like, what in the heck is it? Have you ever been to the shop? Have you ever gone there?
Oh yeah.
Have you? Oh, that's
yeah.
Is it really like that? Like, give us the scoop.
Oh yeah, his our little brother, Ashley's blood, my brother, was obsessed with that show. So they obviously amp it up for TV. When you go there on just a regular day, they're not always there. They have other employees and stuff that work there. But I will tell you, much like in Practical Jokers, I would say that Pawn Star or Hardcore Pawn is 85% real, 15% scripted. I would go that far with it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we went there. We didn't get to meet the guys, but we got to walk around the store. We got to see the neighborhood, obviously, because like I said, Logan was a huge fan. Yeah. So, but I would go as far as to say, much like even Comic Book Man. I don't know if you guys ever watched that on AMC.
Yeah.
Store. How probably 85% of it is legit. Obviously you got the 15% scripted for entertainment to keep people coming back.
Right.
But yeah, and that's when it's the best to me. You got to have a little bit of scripted action in there. Yeah. Nothing's 100% real. But if you're going, 80 to 85% real, just like a movie, if you're going 80%, 85% practical and 15% CGI, I'm happy.
That's pretty good.
My mashed potatoes will be my practical effects, and I'll put my salt and pepper CGI just to enhance the flavor, baby. That's all I'm.
I love it. So. Awesome. I had to throw that out there, man, because that show got intense, bro.
Yeah.
If you guys ever want to talk to Detroit, we're the ones to talk to. That's our lifeline, man. That's our blood. I'll talk to Detroit all day.
Well, my number 10 is not a horror movie, again, but it's one that when I saw it when I was a kid in theaters, you're going to see a theme here. When I was a kid in theaters, it freaked me out, and I only watched it once. My mom happened to love this movie to the point that we would go to the mall almost every weekend to watch it while it was out. And I would cover my eyes or close my eyes like this and squint. It was The Last Starfighter. And there's a scene. Now, if you guys know the movie, there's a scene when the android comes to Earth to body swap with the guy who's going up to save the world or the galaxy or whatever. And this android is like morphing into Alex, the character Alex. And there's a scene where his brother's like, you need to wake up. And he's like, he's all covered up. And he turns and it's like freaky, crazy face. Like the eyes are all like red and his face is all like sucking in and out like a weird looking fish or something. It freaked me out, dude. And I remember when I saw that, I would never watch that scene again. Every time I rewatched it. Now, I do watch it now. I don't turn away. I can handle it now. But for the longest time, that one just messed with me, dude. So it made me jump because I wasn't expecting that.
Wow, yeah.
Another thing I love about this list is something that may be ingrained in your memory from a movie like that scared you so bad. Some of us might watch that movie and go, what was he talking about? But we weren't there for the taste, sight, and smell of the first time that you've seen it. So that's something about these lists that I think is so special. And especially when Ashley and I get to share them with people, not only are we learning about what your top 10, whatever we're doing at that moment is, but we're also taking a time capsule, a time portal to that point in your life and remembering what you went through when you're going to the theater and you're squinting through your fingers to watch this scene because you know it's coming, but you know it's going to scare you anyway.
Yeah.
Those are precious things that I can't buy you. Ashley can't buy you. I couldn't tell you that story the way that you did. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. The appreciation that we have for you guys, not only coming on here and doing this with us, but sharing your personal experience, because those are deep things that we can't get from anybody else but you.
Absolutely.
So we could do this with 10 different people and have 10 completely different times. So
that's a good point. Good
point. On and sharing your personal experiences with these films too. It's amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Nope.
And
It's
Probably.
that kind of leads me into my number 10 because this was the first time an ending scared me. And you see some young lady in a rowboat out on a lake and you hear the violin swelling. Oh, that's good music. We like good music. And the police are there. What's more safe than that?
Right.
The police are there and everything's fine until little Ari Lehman, our little Jason Voorhees, pops out of that water and grabs her and takes her back. That was a moment as a child for me that really got me. It really, really got me as a child. It's just, man, it's what a fantastic moment in a movie that I have a great respect for, but doesn't hold up as well as I remember it. So my number 10 is Friday the 13th, Jason popping out of the water. So before we go on to Night's number 9, let's catch up on the chat real quick. Robin says, honorable mention, Roman Holiday, The Mouth of Truth. Gregory Peck, Audrey Hepburn isn't a jump scare, but it builds tension and can act like one. Understood. My boy Nathan, he knows what time it is. Jason popping out of the water at number 10. Hey, I don't know if it's Boomer or if it's Gabby, but what's up, podcast?
Hey.
Podcast in the Woods, guys. If you don't know them, they're amazing. Boomer and Gabby both. Dice is here.
Hey, Dice.
Speaking of amazing.
Hey, Dice.
There it is. Friday the 13th, young Jason. I'm glad that this scene affected a lot more people than just me.
There you go.
Paranormal Activity 3, when the boyfriend turns on the light and all the witches are standing in front of him just staring at him.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. That's a good one. Every time Rabid Cujo pops up, sensing a theme here, Shaheem. H2O does have 1,000 jump scares in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dead, Batman imposter hung and hitting the window in the Dark Knight.
Oh,
very good. Repulsion, Closet Mirror. I have not seen that. I've never seen it.
Ooh, that's an oldie.
If you're talking about Detroit Bipolar, next time you come, hit Ashley and I up. We'll take you out for the best barbecue you've ever had at Red Smoke Barbecue.
Yeah, so good.
Skinamarink. Okay, there's no spoiler. I'll say the movie's brand new. I don't want to spoil anything. Thank you, Boomer or Gabby, whichever one it is, for not spoiling it because it is so new. Ty says the lipstick demon behind Patrick in Insidious.
Yeah.
I have a strong feeling we'll talk about that again.
I think so.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Hey, Nick.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Mike's Nightmare and Phantasm.
Yes.
It is Boomer. What's up, Boomer?
Hey, Boomer.
Jay Dev's here.
Hey, Jay Dev.
I wonder how we could fit Scream 2 into this conversation, Jay. When I saw It 2017 in theaters where Pennywise bit Georgie's arm off, oh hell no, and walked away. Hey, thank you so much for your donation. The last one we did was Shaun of the Dead, so that means now, guys, we are gonna get, you know what, we're gonna go a little bit different on this one. We're gonna go with one of the funnier moments from Shaun. You know what, we're gonna have a Shaun of the Dead when Shaun of the Dead pays homage to one of the best zombie movies of all time.
We're coming to get you, Barbara.
They purposely named Sean's mom Barbara just for that scene. So I got to show some love for that. I've been on a Shaun of the Dead kick, if you guys can't tell.
It's a classic. It's a classic.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey,
and I want to say again, guys, we are getting some more people in the chat. And I said it at the beginning. I do have Night and Craven's YouTube channels down in the description, guys. So if you haven't already, please go over to their channels and subscribe. Not for me, not for Night, not for Craven, for Ashley. No, I'm kidding.
That was good.
Guys, you are going to love their content. You get a lot of behind the scenes and upcoming things that are happening. You get a lot of deep dives. And I was in the chat for Night when we were just doing the best sequels of all time. So, I mean, you're going to have so many great lists that you can be a part of, but you're going to get a lot of behind the scenes and upcoming news and information about some of your favorite horror movies that are coming out. So if you want to be a part of that and be in the loop, and let's just face it, if you want to be one of the cool kids, you got to go and subscribe to these gentlemen. So
you can do it for me too.
Yeah, and you can do it for
do it for Ashley. Do it for Ashley.
Her, most of all. Yes.
So Knight, you want to start us off with your number 9?
Yeah, my number 9 is not a horror movie as well. And to me, it's literally one of my favorite movies of all time. Literally perfect. And when I saw this as a kid, I'll never forget, we used to get together on Sunday afternoons, me and my brother and my parents, and we'd watch movies. And we're watching this movie that's supposed to be an adventure, one of the greatest movie characters of all time. And right in the beginning of the damn movie, he's going into a temple, and there's this huge jump scare. I'm talking about Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones. And when he sees God, I can't even think of the actor's name. He's fantastic. He played as Dr. Octopus. And when he sees him stuck with the spikes and all that right through his face, it freaked me out so bad. I was like, whoa, because I didn't expect it. And it was truly a jump scare. And I mean, Indiana Jones was like caught off guard. Right. So anyways, absolutely love that movie so much. And that's actually not the only time you get a quick like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, here we go with, Steven Spielberg and just the ability to control your emotions in a movie, especially when you least expect it. He can make your emotions go all over the place, whether it's fear or feeling the sense of exhilaration and so forth. So anyways, Raiders of the Lost Ark, one of my favorite movies of all time. And yes, a great jump scare.
All the Indiana Jones movies have an element of horror to them. And
True.
I don't consider them horror movies, but all the Indiana Jones movies do have those big horror elements that are tied to them. The heart scene.
Yes.
From the wrong glass,
Yes.
like they all have these elements of, or drinking from the wrong grail,
Yes.
like they all have those elements of horror to the movies. And I think that's a big reason why a lot of the horror fans I know are very big Indiana Jones fans. And I think that's why, because we get these elements of horror that are just so great. And big Indy Jones fan, man. I'm right there with you. I was my favorite trilogy for a long time.
Right? I know. It was perfect to me.
It really was, man.
And then they did what they did.
I'm very excited for 5. You know what?
Me too, man.
If we're gonna get it, I'm gonna go into it with the most open minds and see what we get out of it. So
well, they've got a good chance, man, because the team behind it. And the director is fantastic director. He directed he directed Logan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like, if this doesn't work, you know what I mean? That's really bad.
And you also get, I mean, like I said, if you're getting Dr. Jones himself, Harrison Ford, back at the helm, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So how about you, Steven? What's your number 9?
So my number 9 is going to be it's not a horror movie. It is it's a detective crime procedural show, but it's more along the lines of a darker type of movie for sure. It is the movie Seven, which I think is one of the best movies of the 90s, hands down. And it's the particular scene I'm talking about is the one where I believe it was the sloth, where they walk up there. I remember in the theaters, again, a lot of these are first time experiences I remember. And I was in the theater with some friends. We're watching it. And they go up there and there's that dude that's just a shell of a person, basically. And
literally,
we're all like, long gone. Like they got he's up there because he's no longer living. And that time when that cop reaches down and like pokes him or something, and he like shoots up and oh my yes, dude! I was not expecting it. Freaked me out, and then he kept doing it, kept screaming. They're like, put your hands up. The poor guy's like, all he could do is make a sound, You know,
Yeah.
What's he gonna do, man?
Right.
yeah, come on,
What's he
man.
gonna do?
Literally, just I
Get
felt
your
horrible
hands
for
up.
the
I have no
community.
leg muscles. I can't even move. What do you
I
want
can't
from
Right.
me?
move. Yeah,
He has no muscles anymore, man. Like, listen, this
Right.
this dude is like beyond death. You know what I'm
he
saying?
is, dude. And I
Yeah.
just remember that pitiful noise he made, and it
Mm,
scared me, and I was not expecting it. So
Mhm.
that's my number 9, man, because I
Mhm.
jumped. We all
mm,
did.
mm.
Where,
Good
where I will disagree with you on this, Steven,
Mm-hmm.
if anybody is going to tell me that Silence of the Lambs is a horror movie,
Yeah,
I'm going to say Seven is also a horror movie.
that's
I will
fair.
100%. Not
Yeah.
only the sloth scene, man, but there's so much that he does
Yeah.
that
yeah.
is just horrific.
Oh yeah.
He's
Mhm.
he is a villain to the T.
Yep.
You know, I took her head. I know it's become a
Yeah.
huge meme,
Mhm.
but
Right. What's in the
we all
box?
we all cried at what's in the box
Yeah.
the first time, man.
Right?
Like
Oh
I said,
man.
I know it became like a meme
Mm.
when Vine was popular, but man, the
Right,
first time we
right,
see
right.
what's in the box,
Yeah.
and you see him breaking, and they
Yeah.
just subtly do
The
the
small
Exorcist style flash
Yes,
of
yes.
Gwyneth Paltrow
Yes,
right before he
yes.
breaks.
Yes.
Beautiful editing.
And the thing of it too is that they took their time to build up to that with the horror of the story, but also the heart. The fact that Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, and Gwyneth Paltrow started to really get this bond, you know, and it's
Yep.
almost like they needed each other in their lives to be happier. And they
Right.
were, it's weird because they're trying to solve this horrific case, but they were becoming more whole as people. So when Morgan Freeman opens the box, and Morgan Freeman is obviously beyond amazing, and he kind of goes,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yep.
what made him do that? Because he's that grizzled old vet. He's seen everything.
Right.
What would make him flinch? And then, of
Right.
course, everything that happens is a beautiful, one of my favorite scenes of all time.
And I just remember him
It's-
saying, "John Doe's got the upper hand. John Doe's
Yep.
got the upper hand." He kept screaming at the microphone.
Yep.
I'm like,
But what I love about that scene also is when this is playing out. Like I've never been a gigantic Brad Pitt fan. I've always liked Brad Pitt, but
Mhm.
right when he says she not only begged for her life, but for the life inside of her, and the
Oh.
pure look of her
Yes.
and confusion on Brad's face.
Yeah.
You know,
hmm
you didn't know, you know, and that's it.
Yeah.
I guess my sin is envy because I
Mhm.
envy your perfect life, and it's just like, oh my god! Again, we could do
Yeah.
a whole episode, gentlemen, about
Yep.
Seven and how
Yep.
fantastic it is.
It is.
Yep.
And if you guys haven't seen it, go to your local. You know, I guess it's Amazon now. Order from Amazon, and when they get there, say what's in the box, and pull out Seven and watch it and enjoy the
Right?
hell out of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My number 9, I will be absolutely kerfuffled if anybody else has this on their list, but this is from my favorite horror movie of all time, and that is 1986's House. And the movie opens with the grocery boy going into the house trying to find Mrs. Hooper. He goes up the stairs, he opens the door, he walks in, and you get the loud oh as you see her hanging there in the house, you know, and it's loud, it's out of nowhere, it's opening the film. Still to this day, in my opinion, obviously, the 9th best jump scare of all time. So for my number 9, I'm going to go with Aunt Elizabeth in House.
Nice.
What about you,
Aunt
Max?
Elizabeth.
My number 9 is from The Descendants.
The Descent?
From The Descent. Yes. The crawler where they have the night, she has the night vision goggles on, and it's through that point of view, and she thinks that somebody's down there, so she's kind of like scanning this cave, and then when you see it and it's right behind her, the crawler, that gets me every time. And I think the night vision goggles like intensify you know, the scare because you can't see anything. And plus they're all the way down in this cave and they have no idea what's down there with them, and just the way that they look, they're just so creepy looking. Yeah, that gets me every time.
What a fantastic choice. The Descent is such another great movie.
I
got like 4 movies I want to watch tonight now. So
Right?
we do have that going for us now. We'll catch up on the chat real quick. Val has Jason jumping out of the water at number 9.
Yeah.
Horror movies are awesome. Love and Life are awesome. Something else that's awesome is 20 months of sobriety.
Nice.
Ooh,
Yay.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ryan.
That's great.
Awesome.
There are some things that are much, much, much bigger than this platform and bigger than horror movies. And that's, the pride in yourself and knowing that you've done a great job so far. You know what, buddy? I got my 0 sugar Pepsi here. Here's to another 20 months, man. And then another 20 years after that. So
that's awesome.
Congratulations, my friend. I'm very proud of you. When Linda jumps into frame in the window of Evil Dead 2.
Oh,
yes.
That's a
Great
good
choice,
one.
Boom. Yes. What an underrated jump scare.
I didn't even think about
I didn't
that
either.
one. Yeah,
You're
like,
right.
you don't expect that at all.
Because it's become so cliche and almost like a laughing moment. When that first happened, everybody was like, "Oh,
yeah,
yeah."
T. Parker, kudos to you.
Good one.
That's a great choice.
That's a real good one. Yeah.
You Won't Come Out No More, Creature Jump Scare, Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
The screaming reflection in The Woman in Black is a very good one.
Yeah.
When Daniel Radcliffe puts his hand on the window and she screams back at him.
That's such a good movie too.
I love the jump scare in Batman when Vicky Vale opens the box and Joker's flowers pop up. I scream my head off every time.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that is a good one. I get it. Shia LaBeouf swinging with the monkeys was horrifying.
Oh man, it's like, what were they thinking, man? Don't do that. They knew better. They knew better.
They did. That is a good choice. Wait Until Dark. Yeah, we got some more 7 Love here.
Yep.
What's in the box? Yes, Final Destination. Final Destination has taught us many life lessons.
Right?
Look both ways before you cross.
Never drive behind
a log truck.
Never.
Logs on it. Never.
Never.
I believe you just talked about that the other day, Knight.
That's right, man. It's like that is the scene that will stick with me forever.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
I literally will get on the other side.
Yep.
Like I will not go behind
The other side, like the other side of the freeway, you'll drive the wrong way.
It's safer. It's safer.
It's safer.
You know what I meant.
Boomer asks that every time there's an Amazon delivery.
I
feel it. What's in the box?
I mean,
I feel you, Boomer.
You get that.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know. It's a surprise to me too.
What is this thing? The staircase murder. One of the best shots too of all time.
Yeah.
You got that overhead shot of him falling back. Fantastic choice, Dice.
Yeah, it is.
Robin almost put that on there. What did you think of House, Boomer? I gotta know. I have to know.
Yeah, House and House too.
I don't give a fuck about House.
I know.
I need to know what you think of House.
The second story.
The second story, yeah.
The Fourth Kind, when the guy's levitating over the bed with a distorted voice. Very, very
yes.
I just like Uncle Jesse in there, man. From the Dukes of Hazzard. Uncle Jesse's in House 2, man. Like, let's go.
Look, I don't hate House 2. I don't. Like, I think House 2, we own it. I think it's fun. Lar Park Lincoln's in it, one of our, one of my idols. But it's just, to me, it's just not House 1. And again,
it's not.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't think it's a bad film by any stretch of the imagination. If it's on, I'll watch it. I'll laugh. I think it's great. But I wish it would have had a different title. It has, I like the fact if they would have done like more, but House 4 went right back to Roger Cobb. If they would have kept it as like an anthology thing, I would have been fine with it. But I don't know. It just seems out of place in my opinion. Yeah. So, like the movie, I do like the movie. It's fun. Like it's a lot more fun than House.
It is.
House is heavy, man.
It is.
You're missing your child.
He's looking for his son. Yeah.
It has its comedic moments, obviously, but it's not a comedy by any stretch. So
no,
I respect House 2. It just didn't do for me what House did.
Yeah.
And while we're on the subject of love and respect, Steven, you want to give us your number 8?
Of course, yeah. I think Ashley may have taken a peek over one of our shoulders because my number 8 is The Descent, and I actually literally wrote. I said because I just watched it last week for the first time.
Oh, nice, man!
And we watched it. Yeah, last Wednesday I think it was or Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah,
we watched it on my channel, and I literally wrote it in my notes. I said, "Watch." I said, "Take your pick." As far as what scene do you want to jump at? Because that movie, oh my gosh, when it gets going, and those night vision goggles, nothing good ever happens in a horror movie. You put on night vision goggles. Nothing.
In the dark in
It's
general.
true.
I'm like, dude, just leave him off. Die suddenly. It's over. You know,
we
you
don't,
didn't see
we
it
don't need to
coming.
see scary stuff.
We literally just talked about Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
You know, and you
That's
get those
right.
night vision goggles scene in
That's
that
right.
movie.
Yep.
You know,
That's
like
right.
we'll share
Oh,
that
man.
later. Like, so,
Too
I
funny.
love that, Steve. I need a shirt that says when you put on night vision goggles, and on the back it just says nothing good happens.
You should, man. Yes.
Man.
That's a good
And
one.
underneath it, CSS, Craven something scary.
CSS. Yeah, buddy. But, yeah,
I'm gonna have one
man,
of those on my board at work.
Wait, it should glow in the dark too.
Yes.
Yeah.
On my board at work, I'm
That,
gonna
oh
have,
my gosh.
I'm gonna have when you put on night vision goggles, nothing good happens. Quote Ken. Quote Craven something scary. Like they did on The Office.
Yes.
Wayne
Telling you,
Gretzky,
man.
Michael Scott.
That's right.
Gonna be me.
Those are rules, man. Those are part of the rules of horror.
Those are the rules, man.
Yep.
You got to follow those
Yep.
rules.
Where's
Yeah,
Randy?
yep.
We need to add these in the
I
screen.
know.
Exactly.
For real, man. Ooh.
That's amazing, man. My beautiful bride, my wife since high school, brought it up earlier. I saw her face,
Oh.
The Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And I'm going to take a page out of Steven's book here because I saw this in cinema when it came out, and we had a packed crowd. And when that moment happened, because obviously, you know, it's so quick, I saw her face, and you get that high pitched squeal
Yeah, that.
and her face falling,
Yeah.
and everybody in the theater screamed, which obviously, when you're in a moment like that, enhances things.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of younger people in the crowd that day because it's a PG-13 horror movie. 37-year-old Ken's not a fan of having a bunch of kids in the crowd. 14-year-old Ken was a huge fan of being able to go into a PG-13 horror movie. So that was definitely a moment for me that just was like so over the top. And I just remember like literally doing the, oh my gosh.
Yes.
I literally slept on my dad's floor after watching that. I swear. I was like, I'm not sleeping down here by myself. You guys are crazy.
It's so funny because I don't want to get too off topic because I want to get into your number 8, my love. But this is a true story. I showed my son The Ring. My son's 14. I watched The Ring with our son.
Mm-hmm.
He's being good today, so he's our son. I watched that movie with our son for the first time, and he was like, I don't see what's so scary about this. I was like, yeah, well, because you didn't grow up with a VCR, stupid, which is kind of my fault, actually. But
we literally have a VCR.
I know. But like, I just feel like it has. I love the movie. I love The Ring. But for a child to put that movie on now, it's probably not as scary for them because they're like, I don't get it.
Nothing is scary to them. Like they're desensitized to this stuff. I swear.
They really are. Yeah, they
Like,
really are.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, while you give your number 8, tell me what it is, and then I'm gonna go check on them real quick.
Wait, I start number 8.
I just did my number 8. Steven did his. I did mine as The Ring. No.
Okay. So my number 8 is American Werewolf in London.
The Dream?
And that's The Dream. Yeah.
You're amazing.
Obviously when you have, you know, the Nazi soldiers and they're letting loose on the family, and then he wakes up and you think it's over, and then you see him behind the curtain and he, you know, gets the nurse. Like that gets me every time. I did not expect that because I thought it was done. I thought it was just a dream. He woke up from this bad dream and it's over, right? Nope.
Yes.
That's how it gets you. You get that double whammy. And yeah, every time that one gets me. So
yeah, good one. I love that movie, and that scene is so creepy. It's like,
I know those
what's
Nazi
going on?
werewolf things. Yeah, they're so creepy looking. And you know, that family's just sitting there, just, you know, watching TV, hanging out, and then they just let loose on this family. And it's like, where did this come from? Like, what is going on here? So so scary. Scared the crap out of me. Yeah.
All right.
Was I the last one to do number 8?
Yep.
No,
Everybody else do their number?
Oh, Night. Have you gone yet?
Yeah, I'll be the last one, I think.
The last one. Okay,
Okay.
got
Yep.
it.
Go ahead and do your number 8.
Okay, so for me, this movie, it was a very interesting movie, and the way that this jump scare happened, it's just kind of odd. It kind of just happens and like, whoa, what's going on? And I'm talking about M. Night Shyamalan's Signs. The first time that you fully see the aliens, right? And the movie is the way it's happening, they're watching a news broadcast and they're talking about the invasion and so forth, and they're following these kids at a birthday party. And the way that M. Night did this scene, it was to me, it was very, very well done. The camera is panning with these kids, and it's like kind of going down like a sidewalk, and then all of a sudden the alien just kind of comes into the frame and kind of like dun, and it's not like it's not done in a cheap way, right? But it just happens, and the reaction of Joaquin Phoenix and everyone was just kind of like, it's the same reaction that you had. It's almost like they're you know what I'm saying, as the viewer, and I think it's so intelligent the way that scene happened, because you had not seen the aliens yet, so it's kind of like in the back of your mind, you know what's going on, like that there's an invasion, but you haven't like seen that proof, and that's what they wanted too in the movie. So anyways, I love that scene. I think that movie is a fantastic movie, very underrated in a lot of circles. No pun intended.
Swing away.
Circles. Swing away, baby. That's right.
Swing away.
So that scene still earlier, gets me.
We talked a little bit ago about being emotional during a horror movie. Dude, at the end when Mel Gibson's holding his son, he's saying the prayer, he's like, his lungs were closed, no poison got in, and then Daddy, and he just starts crying. Did someone save me? Yeah, I think someone did. Yeah, and then you see him with his priest outfit on again, cried like a baby the first time I seen that. I was weeping on the floor, man. Like the power of faith and what a faith and a higher power. I'm not going to get too religious here. Ash and I have our beliefs. I know, Steven, you have yours. Knight, I know you have yours. I'm not going to preach that to anybody else. But, when you have that belief in a higher power like that, you lose your faith a little bit, and then something comes back to restore your faith. Beautiful. What a beautiful moment to watch someone's faith be restored in that moment. So, man, it's a beautiful movie.
Mel Gibson was fantastic in that movie.
Yeah,
he was. The whole cast was great. Even the kids were great. There was a couple, spotty moments, but man, there's so many jump scares we could talk about in that movie. The knife under the door.
That was another one when you're trying to get that knife scene. Yeah.
And of course, and I didn't mention it because that was like the first big one, but the other jump scare was when the alien was right there in the house and you saw the reflection in the TV.
Yes,
and it's like,
man,
again, M. Night could have just had, the camera right in his face and he makes a face or whatever, but instead it's these little subtle moments that really it just gets you. It's such a well done movie. It really, really is.
Absolutely.
So many levels.
I 100% agree with you there, brother. So we will catch up on the chat real quick before we go into back into our list. Yes, somebody else loves House. There it is. The sloth scene.
Yes.
Night Vision and Descent. Poor royalty on tonight. What's on? I missed that one. What's horror? What? Oh, you talking about us? If you're talking about us, you must be talking about Night and Craven.
Jeez.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie yet, but we want to watch it really bad. We just haven't had the chance. Pennywise popping out of the projector in It 2017.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one. Hide and Clap.
Yep.
Jen, you know what? The fact that you're here at all, we appreciate you.
Absolutely.
It really means a lot to have you here at all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Kayako in the Attic.
Yeah.
House was a lot of fun. It threw so much at you, but was more enjoyable. 4 out of 5. If I see when I was younger, it'd probably be even higher. 4 out of 5 is that's a damn
darn high.
It is.
That's pretty good. I think
4 out of 5. Huh?
You don't even want to know my rating.
Yeah, I know. Let's just stop there. The old lady on the ceiling of Exorcist 3. What I love about that scene is it was filmed practically.
Yeah.
That scene was filmed completely practically, and we're going to talk about the Exorcist 3 again, I promise.
We will.
Yep. Garter's head in the boat. The Boogeyman from Stephen King comes out in June. Very excited for that.
Cool.
And Infinity Pool is just a lustful. I can't get too into this because the movie is so brand new, but I've heard a lot of mixed reactions about Infinity Pool. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm actually really excited to see it. Mia Goth got me going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Me too.
Well, I've heard mixed. I've heard some people really love it. I've heard some people really hate it. Thank God there hasn't been like a discourse
Yeah.
against it right now with people starting to fight against it like we get with a lot of our bigger franchises. But guys, it's a horror movie. It's not that serious. You either like it or you don't. You don't got to make fun of someone else or make them feel smaller than you because they did or didn't.
Right.
Please try to keep that in mind. It's a movie. We're supposed to be getting enjoyment. And if we did and you didn't, well, who cares? It's not life or death.
Right.
Don't make people feel stupid for liking or disliking art. It's not fair. The Ring is amazing. Did I say 4 out of 5? I meant 11.
Yeah. Okay.
Just for that, my friend, we get to watch a group of people that are exactly the same looking at each other.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, jeez.
Another part of Shaun of the Dead that makes me laugh every time I watch it when the two groups meet and they're the exact same thing. It's so funny, man. So yeah. Did I mention I've been on a Shaun of the Dead kick lately?
Yes.
You mentioned
You only
it.
mentioned it 7 times, I think.
Sledges. Thank you, Cal. Appreciate you,
Cal.
buddy. Final Destination, the bus death scene, and then we did get. I like Infinity Pool, but I like weird stuff and Mia Goth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then it's got me.
Oh, hold on. I did miss someone. Val. I read something Val and it got skipped. Number 7, Hereditary, when his mom comes out of the dark corner and starts to chase him. Great scene.
Yeah.
Great scene. So we are up to number 7, and that is me starting us off. And I'm gonna echo the after filming of a scene in the water at the bottom of a swimming pool of Steven Spielberg's house, grabbing the shark tooth out of the boat, and then the head falls. What a great moment. What a great moment. And for that to be an afterthought, essentially, that's amazing. So amazing to me. So my number 7 has been talked about already. So I'm going to say it is the tooth, pulling out the shark tooth and getting the head falling down in Jaws. What about you, my love?
So I have 1408, and it's not the cat scene, which I could have added that because it made me jump too. But it's the one where John Cusack is on the ledge, and he's going to go back into the window, and that lady standing there, and with the hammer. I screamed so loud. I think it was like during the day, and there wasn't a lot of people in the theater that day, and I screamed so loud, and I think I made the whole row that was in. Everyone in there jumped. So I don't know if I'm the one that made them jump or if it was the scene itself.
No, it was you.
Yeah, it got me for sure.
If you guys know the story of Dante's Inferno, and you haven't watched 1408, I think it's one of the better interpretations of what Dante's Inferno is, the 7 layers of hell. Watching John Cusack go through these 7 layers of hell throughout Dante's Inferno.
He's already gone through, and then
another movie that I cry every time. You can't take her twice. That's all I'm gonna say.
So sad.
When you get can't take her twice, that part, I bawl my eyes out every time, man.
Such a good movie, and I love John.
John Cusack's so good.
Yeah.
He is. He really is.
Yep.
Everything he does is gold, man. I can't think of anything Johnny C's done that I didn't like. It's because of him. I'll hold the radio outside someone's window playing. So how about you, Knight? What's your number 7?
My number 7 is another movie, like when I was a kid. It really affected me. It's from the zombie subgenre. And zombies creep me out, man. They really, really do. Because it's a numbers game, right? At some point, you're either going to get overrun, or if you're lucky enough to survive, there's not much left. So, it's just so bleak. So I'm talking about Dawn of the Dead, the elevator scene near the end of the movie, when you think that Flyboy has a chance, he might have a chance. The zombies are overrunning the mall, and he gets injured, and he kind of just comes down, and all of a sudden those doors open, and it's like 85 million zombies that are just coming right at the camera, and it's kind of like, whoa. And the jump scare is one thing, but it's really the way that George Romero did his movies. It was really the culmination of the movie at that point, because hope was being lost. The realization that you're not going to get out of this mall alive. And that scene
Mhm.
kind of was the symbolism of that for me. So I had to have that on my list.
Well,
It's still a
especially-
creepy scene.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah,
It is.
and one thing I was going to say about
Mhm.
that scene that I don't think gets enough credit is when that is what Tom Savini calls a Houdini scene.
Yeah.
You know, look at this hand while the magician's doing something else over here. You're thinking that you just got, we're going to talk about a huge Houdini scene again, but you think you just got it when Steven's at the top of the elevator and he gets shot. You know, he gets shot up there. You're like, oh my gosh, he's been shot. That's what's happening here. So that's the look at this, when the real thing is happening over here, when those doors open and all those zombies are there.
Yeah.
So you get
That's
that
right.
Houdini, the magician jump scare. So I love that. Absolutely love that. I just want to say this. Ashley and I's versus episode coming out soon is on Dawn of the Dead, the original version.
The blood pressure guy. I know. I said the same
Yes.
thing. Is he literally getting his blood pressure taken right now?
They're going to be talking about that.
Dude.
So I had to throw that out.
Like,
there.
clearly it's high. You're getting attacked by zombies.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I know.
I just love how it squeezes down and then the zombies start coming. So he's
I
kind of
know.
stuck. Like, oh no.
Right.
Oh, what did I do this for?
Right.
Smart.
I'm an idiot.
Better take that blood pressure again because it just went up a lot higher.
Well, it just showed how
How about you, Steven?
ridiculous
What's
they
your number?
were.
Yeah.
I mean, they're hitting zombies in the face with pies and squirting them with seltzer water.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So how about you, Steven? What's your number 7?
Okay, so this one now, I don't think anyone's going to have this on your list. I'll be curious. I mean, I'll be shocked. Like you said earlier, Ken, if anyone has this. This is a movie that I saw in probably the late 80s, very late 80s, maybe even early 90s. And it was a movie that my dad, because my dad was a horror fan since he was a kid, right? So he would tell me about a lot of the older horror stuff. And he got this VHS and he said, son, I want you to watch this movie with me. I'm like, okay, I'd never seen it before. Starring the great Vincent Price. And it's the original 1959 House on Haunted Hill. It was in black and white at that time. I think it's in color now, but we had it in black and white. And so we're watching that movie, and there was this one scene, I'll never forget it, where a couple, 2 of the people in the group are trying to figure out what's happening because this person saw someone, but they can't, but all of a sudden they're gone. So he grabs it was a man and a woman, and they're like, knocking on the walls, to see if it's hollow, they do for secret doors and stuff. And so he says, you go on the other side to the woman and knock. I'm going to knock back if you hear me, whatever. So she's sitting there and she's like tapping the wall. And then all of a sudden she turns to her right and the camera pulls back. And dude, there is this old woman that is freaky. Her eyes are solid white. She's got her hands up like this. And she's got this this weird looking face. And the woman screams. And all of a sudden, this is the trippy part. The woman doesn't walk out of the room. The woman looks like she floats out in a straight line, like someone's pulling her on a cart or something. Yes.
Yep.
And I will never forget when I saw the woman's face. It was because again, it was very quiet. You don't expect it. And when I saw the look of how they did her visually on the makeup, it scared me. It made me like, God, I wasn't that old. I was young, but it really did freak me out, dude. So hats off to, Vincent Price and the 1959, that's right, 59 movie, House on Haunted Hill, that can make me do a jump scare. Hats off to him, man.
Yes.
Can we also talk real quick, Steven, about how that movie had one of the best movie posters of all time?
That is a great one.
Yes.
Love it.
To this day, one of the posters. Yeah, it's one of the posters that I would kill to have on my wall. It's just that's an amazing cover art. It's just fantastic.
That sounds like a nice birthday gift challenge. Or Christmas gift challenge right there.
There you go.
Yeah. But I will.
We do got to catch up on the.
Go ahead. Real quick. And the last thing I want to say about this movie is on there, and I'm not going to give away the ending. Of course, no good. It's 1959. But I will say this: the very ending of this movie. If y'all seen the movie, you've seen it, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Whenever all I'm going to say is a line, and it says something like, I'm paraphrasing, but it says something like, "While you were busy playing games, I was playing too."
Mm.
Yes.
That and like that's the ending, and you,
Mm.
oh man, gives me chill bumps now. Look at this, seriously.
Mhm.
And
It's a good one.
Oh yeah.
forget that. Just wow.
Yes.
So
I know,
great.
Steven, I know you got to step away here for a second. We knew
Yeah,
about
just for a
that.
minute. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm
All
gonna
right.
catch up on the chat, brother.
Sounds good. I'll be back
Um,
shortly.
Okay. Carrie has a great one. Now, Trash Dash, are you talking about the
Mhm.
ending with the arm coming up, or is there a different one? I'm curious. The bed scene in Thailand, Shutter, very nice. I've seen the American version. I have not seen the OG.
No.
Mm.
Yes.
Black Phone had some good ones. It was hard for me to
Yes.
leave them off.
There was
That's
a really
true.
good one that got me.
Yeah. Red
Mhm.
Demon, Insidious. Don't know what that is.
Yeah. Okay.
Leatherface kills Kemper off guard in the Texas Chainsaw remake. I love how after that he puts Kemper's face on.
I love that
I
part. And he
know.
looks at her in the van and she sees his face. Oh,
Yes.
so good.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Smile, the therapist phone call. That's a good one.
Smile has a lot of like lingering like jump scares that it seems like you're
Yes.
gonna get something and you're not. No, don't shush me. You got that on your list.
We're
huh?
gonna talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
Italian silent film called L'Inferno. Oh, Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
Okay. Better Off Dead is fantastic. That is a
Mm.
fantastic film. I still think High Fidelity will probably be non-horror my favorite Cusack film. Yeah. But the phone was on the charger. Yep. And Smile when they're on the phone. Yeah, we already talked about that. Jack Baker breaking through the wall in Resident Evil 7. I've never played it in VR, so that would actually be pretty dope.
Oh, VR.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You literally poop your pants.
Yeah. I don't like VR stuff. Like, dude, VR stuff is not for me. I don't like it at all.
You're not even like a 3D type of
No.
guy. Like
3D VR, it makes me sick. Like right now, I'm starting to feel sick. I haven't had my glasses on. Like I'm already feeling dizzy. But when I do like VR or I do like 3D, I feel like I'm gonna puke. Like I feel dizzy. Like I can't do it.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for Steven, I'll tell you a story real quick. We're from the Midwest, and there's this beautiful place out here called Cedar Point. And Cedar Point, for those of you that don't know, have the roller coasters that will make you poop your pants a lot. And I don't like roller coasters. Don't like them. I hate them.
Yeah, he's really fun, guys. He doesn't like haunted houses, no roller coasters. He doesn't like swimming.
Swimming's gross. I might as well.
He hates. Yeah.
I might as well just lay down, let you pee on me, and pour chlorine on it. It's the same damn thing. We were at Cedar Point, and Ashley
That's why we
talked
watch
me,
a lot of movies.
Yeah, Ashley talked me into going on this ride called the Mantis. Now, what the Mantis is?
They don't even have it up anymore.
Yeah, it was a stand-up roller coaster. You stood up,
It's
they
almost like
latched
you're
you down, and
sitting
you're
on like a bicycle seat. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, it's the first roller coaster of the day. You know what? I'll give this a shot. Let's try. So we're going up the hill, and we're almost to the top of the hill, and there's a big pond below us, and we get stuck.
No, we were at the bottom. We were at the pond. We were at the twisty part. We were stuck. We were stuck sideways. Yeah.
And we're sitting there, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, Ashley, that was cool. I appreciate this. Thank you for making me do this. Well, here's what
I didn't even want to look at him because I knew he was
You
gonna
do.
like, freak out. Yeah.
Now, here's where the story gets bad. So we're there for probably a good 10 minutes.
It was probably like 3, but it felt like 10.
It was probably an hour.
No.
But anyway, once it finally came back, it clicked and jerked.
So
and
it felt like we were almost falling into the lake, and we were still lashed into our seats.
I heard the highest pitch, most scared scream I've ever heard in my entire life.
Right
and I was like,
in my
oh my
ear.
gosh. And then I realized it was me. I was like, that was me. That made the noise just now. And I've never been so scared / embarrassed at the exact same time.
Yeah.
I was just
That's
like,
awesome.
I thought we were falling.
I was like, who is this guy? Who sat
I
me?
know, I was like, what happened?
That's
Did anyone else
awesome,
hear
man.
that was weird.
It You're like, did that come from me?
I
Right.
did. I was like, that was my voice that did
So
that.
we spent the rest of the day in Snoopy Land after that.
Yep.
Nice.
A ride where if I
Yeah.
got stuck, I could just literally walk off.
Right.
Right. That's funny, man.
Yeah. The House on Haunted Hill lady is terrifying. She also has a cameo
Yes.
in House.
Mm.
Roger Cobb is watching that movie in
Mhm.
House. For those of you that don't know. I love this. Fair. The old lady was creepy. I've made people laugh about it when she's floating away by saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, Alice Cooper." What I love about this, Robin, that scene where Tony Todd puts his hook through the medicine cabinet in Candyman, nobody knew that he was going to do that. Like Virginia Madsen's reaction to that is genuine. That's a real reaction. And Tony Todd, I've watched an interview where he was like, "I felt like such a dick." Like, I knew what we were going for.
Right.
Yeah, William Castle was like a B version of Alfred Hitchcock. Well, that's fair. Lipstick demon over Josh's shoulder. Really, Robin? That's to each their own. I thought I enjoyed it.
I did too.
Oh, I love Rocky. I love
there
it.
you go.
Get a job, you bum.
Yeah, bum.
Same Ken. I hate swimming around people, but swimming alone is a different. I'll swim if no, I won't.
You won't. You won't swim.
I
It's
think
okay,
it's
bro.
gross. Thank you. I was gay for like 5 seconds. I was like, my soul left my body and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yes, the Philadelphia
too
Eagles
funny.
are going to the Super Bowl. Good for them.
Oh, really? That's
Right.
the one.
Yeah,
That's why I fell asleep.
Now I'm all aboard on Cincinnati.
There you go.
Let's go, Joe Burrows.
I guess we don't have to watch this.
What's going on, Omni? Yes, we
Hi.
do.
Hey.
Does anybody remember the prank call line where you could get so they would actually get a 70? No, that's genius.
Dude, I heard
Wow, I
about
didn't
that.
Know about that.
Yes.
I'm so old that we just called our friends.
Yeah.
Right after.
Well, yeah, I did that too,
7
man.
days.
7
Yeah.
days. Oh my God. I used to get a bunch
That's amazing.
of people with that
Yeah.
one.
I will tell you this though. I literally yesterday watched The Ring 2 for the first time in years, and I was like, you know what? Maybe if I go back and I revisit The Ring 2, I'll like it now because I'm a little older, I'm a little more mature. Still dog shit. Still don't.
Yeah,
like
man.
it
I couldn't believe that. Yeah, don't get me started, man, because I was just really frustrated because the first movie is so well done and so atmospheric
Yeah.
and creepy, and the second movie it just lost so much of that feeling, and I was just really
the
disappointed.
CGI they used throughout The Ring 2.
The deer.
The deer
They
looked
look
awful.
horrible.
Yep.
When he's in the bathtub and the water's all up on the ceiling and then it falls, it just looks really bad. And these are scenes that I just feel like if they had just done them practically, they might not have looked bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Hold on, what's this?
Yep.
Midnight Club episode 1 broke the record for most jump scares on a TV show with a 21 in one scene.
Wow.
It was 21.
That's insane.
I don't remember
Crazy.
that. I gotta check
don't
that
either.
out again. I thought it was a pretty good show.
Let me know about this, Boomer. Maniac. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about the hitchhiker, right? What am I thinking of?
Sounds like the Hitchhiker.
I think it is the Hitcher. That's what I'm
The
thinking. I'm thinking of the
the
Hitcher.
Hitcher. The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. I wasn't a fan. I watched Rings the other day for some reason. The Ring sequel that came out like 5 years ago. That's another one that what I appreciate about about Rings, which was like the Ring 3. It created its own timeline, and we got a backstory on Samara, which I appreciated, but I agree it just wasn't done very well either because we rewatched that one about a year ago. And same thing. It's just like it took something that should have been fantastic, and the idea was good. Finding the backstory about Samara and why she is the way she is and why the preacher was blind. All that stuff was good ideas, but just the execution of it was really, really bad.
Yep.
Oh, I've seen the OG Ring. Oh, I love the OG Ring. I think it's in my top 5 PG-13 horror movies of all time. Like it's that good to me.
Yep.
The Ring is one of my favorite. Oh wow, the 3 worst. I much appreciated. See, now what we're talking about with like PG-13 horror, I just gave this rant the other day. Like Megan, they're putting out a R-rated cut of it.
Right.
I don't see how that could possibly enhance the story. I think it's going to enhance the gore, obviously,
Right.
but I to me, I'm all about the story, and I don't think how it's going to enhance what Megan did. I really enjoyed Megan. Have you seen Megan?
Me
right?
too. Yeah, man. I was really impressed with it, and I thought it was really well done. It had creepy scenes. It was like fresh, man, because like a lot of
Yep.
people, you know, were like, okay, well, this is gonna be like Child's Play, and you know, blah blah blah. And I
Right.
think that they were able to kind of carve their own lane, so to speak. It was great, man. I mean, and that finale, that final act, it was creepy, had some scary moments, and it made me laugh out friggin' loud, man. Like, well, I won't spoil it, but yeah, Megan
Right.
definitely had some really, really cool moments.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
There is a scene in Megan where I'm not going to spoil it either, but when he goes, huh, I don't know why I'm laughing about this. That part made me laugh out loud, like in the theater. But there's also a scene in Megan that I cried at.
Yeah.
You know, when they're giving the presentation to the people behind the one-way mirror. I cried.
That's right.
Yeah.
Literally cried during that scene.
Yeah.
So we'll catch up on the chat
when a
again
movie
while
can
we're
do that, it's amazing.
Yes, when it can scare you, make you laugh, make you go, "Oh, this is dope," and you know everything all at once, make you cry. I loved Megan. I think that while it's not going to be like a masterpiece of film, it's a fun movie that I would watch again, and that's what I want in a horror movie. I want a good movie that's going to make me laugh, make me feel something, and make me want to watch it again. Rings was bad, but not as bad as The Ring 2. Don't Click is a South Korean horror flick that is basically a Ring sequel. It borrows so much, and it's so good. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Insidious, Ouija, Origins of Evil, The Ring, The Woman in Black, and The Fourth Kind are my favorite PG-13 horror movies. I would add Megan into that. That's how much I really enjoyed Megan.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm also a big Drag Me to Hell fan, and a lot of people forget that was PG-13. So I would have to add that one to the list as well. Can't recommend it enough, Robin. Really, really enjoyed it. So did Boomer. I know Boomer's seen it a couple times. Hey, what's up, Steph?
Hey, Steph.
Nice to see you. Megan was very good. I love Megan. Mathregan. All right.
Mathregan.
So you want to give us your number six while
Yes.
we're waiting for Steven?
Absolutely. So my number 6 is Lights Out. The red light on, the red light off. When she's looking over and she hears that scratching and she thinks it's her brother. And then the light comes on. It's the witch. She's there scratching, and then it goes off and she's gone. Then it comes back on and she's right there standing and like jumps at her. Oh, that gets me every time, because again, you're waiting and waiting and waiting for it to happen, and the light comes on, the light goes off, and then when she finally does jump at her when the light turns back on, and she makes that horrible sound. It's so loud, and it gets me every single time. And that the witch, she is terrifying looking. Like she looks
very good design.
So scary. Yeah.
100%. So what about you, Knight? What's your number 6?
My number 6, we've alluded to this a couple times. I'm just gonna get right to the point. I'm going with Insidious, and you know, the red-faced demon. Look, I'm not gonna lie, guys. That made me actually gasp in that moment. You know, because you know what they do, or what James Wan did, I should say, and really great directors is they stretch out the tension. And they fool you, you know what I'm saying? Because Josh's mother is telling the story, and it's got you so invested, and you're listening and paying attention to it, because you know you're almost kind of finding out what's going on, because she's basically telling her son about what happened when he was a child. And as she's telling the story, and the way the camera pans to her, and then of course it's only natural that they're going to show who she's looking at, which is Patrick Wilson, her son Josh. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's right behind him. Like it looks like he's like literally in the same space as Patrick Wilson. You know what I mean? And it's so well done, and it's so quick, and it's a great scene. I love that movie. I mean, if you can't tell, I'm a huge James Wan fan. So, and that was just one of those great moments that James Wan has offered up to us. So Insidious is mine.
That's awesome.
I can tell you we'll talk about that again.
Maybe twice.
But it won't be right now. What I will say is a movie that exceeded every expectation I had for it this year. I had the lowest of low expectations. Last year, you're right. Thank you, my love. I had the lowest of low expectations. Just, you know, and I went to see Smile, looking for a truth or dare type goofy ass movie, and I got the complete opposite. And the scene that got me, because what you said a little bit ago when we were talking about Smile from the chat, there's not very many jump scares in Smile. There isn't,
but they linger. They linger. Then that's what gets you, I feel like.
There's more that genuine fear. Yeah. The genuine building of anxiety.
It's almost like, would you just get it over with and like let me have the relief from it? You know what I mean?
Now, I'm not going to get too deep into this because the movie is so fresh, but there's a scene where she's at her laptop and she keeps turning up the volume to try to hear what's happening. And then all of a sudden you get a scream, Rose!
Yeah.
And that made me poop my pants. So, Steven, the ones that you missed while you stepped away real quick, Ashley's number 6 was Lights Out, the witch, when the lights are coming on and lights are coming off and then being right up in the face. Nights was the red-faced demon from Insidious, being behind Patrick Wilson.
Oh, wow.
And mine was a laptop Rose scream from Smile. So, what is your number 6, my friend?
Sure. My number 6 is one that's an oldie again. I'm going to start getting a little more current, a little bit, but never actually most of my list is pretty old, actually. But this is from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, and it's not the shower scene. It's the scene where, and I don't know if this is, I guess some may not think it's a jump scare. It made me jump, so that's my qualifier. Which is, hold on a second, guys. My dog really wants to get in on the action here. There she goes. That's Bumblebee, everybody.
Hi, Bumblebee.
So
just when we thought the stream couldn't get any better looking.
I know, with her tongue.
Yeah, I like to have her around, man. She's yeah. She helps me look much better.
I don't blame you.
But yeah, man. No, seriously though, the scene for me is at the end in the, I guess it's the basement, when we get the reveal of Mother and the rocking chair, and you anticipate it's coming, and that camera, like, you know, the way it pans around, and then you see the you know, the mummified face and the wig and all that. That to me, it again, when I first saw it, I'll never forget the feeling. And I was like, I knew it was coming, but that was the worst part of it, I think. Is knowing it's coming, and you're like, oh, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Exactly.
And like, bam, there it is, you know?
Yeah. And just the score there, too, definitely amplifies that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And like Ashley said earlier, there's no terror in the bang, only in the anticipation of it. So if there's one person that could work that quote, it would be Alfred Hitchcock.
Absolutely.
So,
that's right.
You know, taking his own advice there.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Love Sledgehammer Horror. We love you too, Steph.
Thanks, Steph.
If this is your first time here, we'd love to have you. You know, so please subscribe. But more importantly, subscribe to Night and Craven. Their links are in the description. So make sure you're following these two beautiful gentlemen as well. I know they'd love to have you along on their, be a part of their family as well.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Yep.
Tadaku versus Kyoku was a fun flick. We need to watch that.
We do. We really do.
Go Kyoku. I love Drag Me. I love Drag Me to Hell too. I love it. It's so slapsticky. It's so fun. It's so depressing. And Justin Long's fantastic in it.
Yes.
Yep.
Boomer has seen Megan Mathregan 4 times.
4 times. That's more than
awesome. Yeah. This stream is so good for me right now. Just finished. Okay, like I'm not going to get too deep into this, just because I don't want to put people's personal stuff out there. But if you could keep Omni in your thoughts, send as many positive vibes as you possibly could Omni's way. Sometimes life is hard, and you need people around you that love you. So send some love this way if you possibly could.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Freaking love Lights Out.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Lights Out, much like Smile, much like Saw, started as a 10-minute horror short.
Right.
You know, so if you have an idea for a horror short, put it out there. You never know who's gonna like it.
That's right.
Drag Me to Hell is good. It's just not one of my favorites. I like that ending at the end. I really do. When you actually see it, it's so sad.
Yeah, it's kind of like it really happened.
It was that predictable. Like
me neither.
I haven't
like
seen
a
it
happy
yet.
ending.
Oh,
And-
you haven't seen Drag Me to
wait.
Hell?
And I
No.
mean,
Okay.
it was
So-
a happy ending.
Yeah, it's a very happy ending. So
Very
make sure you
happy,
watch
yeah.
it.
Okay.
I like the ending. It goes there. That's all I'm gonna say. The ending goes there.
It does.
The tall man from It Follows. Very good
scary,
choice.
Yeah.
When Harry sees Mary Shaw in Dead Silence.
Yes.
Yes.
That's such a good movie too.
You see, you guys better hit that like button, or Mathregan will come and get you in your sleep.
Mathregan.
Jonathan scaring Evie with a mummy in the library and the mummy. What a fantastic movie. And it drives me absolutely insane when people say that's not a horror movie. I'm like, you're really going to tell me just because Brendan Fraser's in it that it's not a horror movie? It's The Mummy, man. And it almost goes beat for beat. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. Don't You Dare jump scare from Insidious Chapter 2. Danielle Basutti killed it as Parker Crane's mother. My favorite in the Insidious franchise. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I love why can't I think of his name? Her partner. He's so awesome too. The one with the dice.
Yeah. Now you're
You got me
that
too.
Sucks. Yeah, he's so good. He's so good.
now it's gonna drive me crazy.
The dark doorway and smile was ferrying. I'm assuming we mean terrifying. Love you, Boomer. Rose Scream got me. Exorcist 3 when the nun chases the nurse. We got a lot of love for our puppers there. His real name is Steven. This is what's driving me nuts. His real name is Steven. That's why it's making me so crazy.
It is
Carl. Steve Coulter.
That was gonna drive me crazy.
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
Carl. He's amazing. And Steve Coulter's a great dude.
Mhm.
Hey, Bobby. What's
Hey,
up,
Bobby.
buddy?
Hey, what's
Nice
up,
to
Bobby?
see you, man.
Hey.
Thoughts on the movies Fear and Renfield. I'm excited for Renfield. I haven't seen Fear yet. I again heard mixed things.
Wait, is
I
Renfield
haven't
out?
either.
I don't think it's out yet.
Oh, okay.
I think what was it? Boomer? They said they weren't too impressed with Fear. If that was you, Boomer, let me know because I thought it was you. Lawnmower footage from Sinister. Never seen it. You know, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys right now. I am in a very, very salty mood towards Sinister right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's not Sinister's fault.
Me and Sinister are a not very so just to let you guys know, our upcoming me and Ashley, when we film our Didn't See That Coming, we film them months in advance because we're busy people. We like to keep filming as much as we can. Our upcoming episode in April is on Sinister. And I'm right now having to re-edit it again for my 9th copyright claim on that episode. 9th copyright claim.
Yeah. Nice.
So right now I'm like, hey, Sinister.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Can't
me and
blame you.
Sinister are in a love-hate relationship right now. Dead Silence is so underrated.
It is. It really
so
is.
underrated. What are your thoughts on that one, Knight? I know you're a Juan fan.
Yeah, Dead Silence is definitely underrated. I love it. It's creepy. It's got atmosphere. I mean, like I said, I think James Wan, he and I've said this so many times on live streams. I just think that I'm just glad that he is in horror, because I think he really opened the door for, as far as modern horror to kind of just take a breath, take a step back. We don't need 1,000 gallons of gore and blood, that's fine, and I'm not saying I can't appreciate that, but creating the atmosphere and tension with the characters and the story and the way that he crafts that, I think he's proven that he can do that through so many movies. And I just dig him. I really do. He knows the genre. He's a student of horror. And I absolutely love that too. Like he knows, like he could literally be here right now and he could do a better job than me easily in his sleep.
Well, I mean, let's slow down here.
Okay. Dude, I'm just saying, man. Like whenever I've seen him in interviews, I'm just like, bro, I want to like hang out with you, eat a cheesesteak sandwich and just talk horror because you are that guy, Right. And so, like I said, he's just fantastic. And Dead Silence, in his filmography and his projects, it is very underrated. It truly is.
I will 100% agree with that because Ashley and I are both very big fans of Dead Silence.
Yeah.
I think that I would go as far as to say it is one of my favorites that he's ever done.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Steven?
Up
Are
there
you
for
a fan of Dead Silence?
I am a fan of James Wan, but I guess to prove your point of being underrated, I've never seen this movie before.
Ooh.
Oh,
Never seen Dead Silence. Yeah.
Watch.
Yep.
And I love James
Watch
Wan.
party.
Like, I mean, guy's amazing.
Mhm.
Malignant was my favorite film of 2021.
Oh, I
Mm.
love
Number one.
Malignant. I watched that multiple
Well, that
times.
was what's her name? The one that just did Megan and is doing the
Akilah Cooper.
Akilah Cooper.
Yeah, Akilah
Yeah.
Cooper. Yeah, she
Yeah,
did
him-
Malignant. She did Megan.
That's why I
Well,
am
yeah,
going
her
to be
and-
optimistic about The Nun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Her and James Wan co-wrote 'Malignant together and co-wrote
Mhm.
Megan together.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
Wan produced, of course, the movies. But yeah, man,
Right.
I haven't seen this movie though. I did silence. I've not seen it at all. I have no idea what it's even about. So
We need to do a watch party because if we give you a
Yeah,
synopsis
man.
of the movie, it is going to give it no justice
Right.
to how great
That's
the movie
true.
is. But I will tell you this, Stephen, you need to go into this movie blind.
Yeah.
If you go
Yeah.
into this movie with any inkling of what's going on, don't let anybody spoil this movie for you. Like
Got it.
it deserves to be watched unspoiled.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
won't watch a trailer or anything. I will go blind.
Please, that would be awesome.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, we'll get back to our list at number 5, and that will be Night starting us off.
Okay. We're going old school again. There's no question about that. Sci-fi, but to me, it's also horror, and I'm talking about Ridley Scott's Alien,
Mhm.
where
yeah.
you've got Tom Skerritt, who is in the air shaft. They're trying to find out where the alien is. He's weaponized, he's got the flamethrower and everything. They got the technology, they got the game plan. And I'm thinking as a kid, okay, we got this. And all of a sudden, and Ridley was so smart, because he's able to do a lot of things when he doesn't have like huge budgets back then, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And the computer screen with the beeping, so that if you're near something, was such a smart
Mhm.
little flavor that they added to that scene. But as soon as Veronica Cartwright is like, get out of there, he's right there, and all of a sudden he turns back around and has the flashlight, and the alien, literally the xenomorph, usually literally just goes, ah, and it's like, holy
Mhm.
crap. Great scene. Love that
Yeah.
scene. That's one of my favorite scenes in the whole franchise. And I love the franchise. I'm a huge Alien franchise fan. I'm a huge Ridley Scott fan. And that scene was just like, whoo, chef's kiss.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
And
Yep.
you could have gone one of two ways with that one. You could have either gone with that one with the alien jumping up, or you could have gone with the chest burster scene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
yes.
Yeah. That's, dude, when I saw that messed me up as a kid, man. I'll never, ever forget, because I didn't know what was going to happen, right? And of course, the crew didn't either. The actors didn't either. That scene, they weren't. Veronica Cartwright's reaction to the chest burster scene was real. Like, she totally got freaked
legit.
out, slipped on the floor because of the blood and all that. It was like, wow, Ridley, you went there. But yeah, that was another great scene, that chest burster. Classic.
100%.
Oh yeah.
So what about you, Steven? What's your halfway point here?
Well, we've talked about it earlier, the movie, and it's from Smile. And for me, it's the one because I went into that movie pretty much blank as well. I only saw the teaser, the very first teaser trailer. I didn't see the full trailers after that. So a lot of these scenes I came to find out later, were in the actual later trailers, but I didn't see those. And the scene that I'm talking about is when she's at I believe it's her sister, and she's getting ready to leave, and her sister walks out to say goodbye to her in the car, and her head goes whoosh, just ratchets down, upside down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And it caught me completely off guard. I was like, I was not expecting it at all, and so, and now again, I found out I'd seen the trailers later, and my daughter said, "Oh, I knew that scene was coming." I'm like, "How?" She said, "It's in one of the trailers." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that." So it was my first time, and that movie was fantastic.
That's the one thing. If I wish I wouldn't have seen that trailer that showed that moment, because I think that I agree with you. That is one of the moments that we did see in the trailer that kind of hooked me into the movie, actually, where I was like, this might be okay. But then you go and you watch it and you know what's coming, and you're like, oh, I wish I didn't know this was happening right now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep. True enough.
We will talk about another trailer ruined jump scare here in a little bit, but
Okay.
my halfway point, I'm not going to go too deep into this one because we already have, but
Oh yes.
Large
Look
Marge.
like fish.
tell them Large Marge sent you. So yeah, and for the same
Right.
thing as you, Craven, we're young, we're watching this movie, and what we're watching is a comedy. We're watching a comedy about a guy that has no clue that there's no basement in the Alamo. So it's just to this day, and I'm sure you guys have heard me say this before, this is the only film I've ever given a 5-star rating to is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. In my opinion, it's not my favorite movie of all time. That distinction goes to Back to the Future. But I think that this is the only perfect film that's ever been made. This is the height of Tim Burton for me. I think Tim Burton has never done anything better than he did with Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It has every element in it. It's a love story. It's a comedy. There's definitely horror moments. You got the Large Marge scene. You got the clown doctors operating on the bike.
Yeah.
There's action sequences. It has a killer soundtrack. That fire where he's carrying out the snakes.
And who didn't want that bike as a kid?
Right.
Everybody wanted that bike.
And who didn't want his kitchen?
Yeah.
The way it makes the breakfast that he feeds to the dog. He feeds that to the dog and he eats the cereal.
Right. I mean, I want that kitchen now.
Yes. One of my, like I said, the perfect movie ever made, in my opinion, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And it has that perfect jump scare of, and when they finally pulled her body from the burning wreck, it looked like this.
Yes.
So yeah, man, Pee-wee's Big Adventure at number 5 for me, the Large Marge scene. What a perfect movie. What a perfect moment in that movie. So that's my number 5. What about you, my love?
So mine has already been talked about, and this is The Conjuring, the hide and clap game. So I just want to point this out. Okay, when there is a horror movie and people start going down to the basement, I'm like, why? Like, that's the last place I'm going to go. Like, no, we're just going to shut that door, just pretend we didn't hear that noise down there, and go hide under the blanket.
Basement? What basement? We don't have a basement.
I know, we don't have a basement. No, but I mean, she starts walking down there and they push her down, and then that light explodes, and so it's completely dark. And we already talked about the night vision goggles. Like, at this point, we don't want to know what's down there with you, but she lights a candle, and then the little boy says, "Hey, you want to play?" And the light goes out and you get that clap, and gets me every time. It's because you don't think that he's right behind her. You think he's actually like down in the basement, but nope, he's right behind her. So it's scary.
So I do want to say I'm Robin also hasn't seen Dead Silence. We need to do a watch party.
Yeah.
Whether we do it on Craven's channel, Knight's channel, our channel, after the stream, guys, I'll text you. We'll set something up. We'll make this happen because I want to be there with you, Steven, the first time you watch it. I don't care whose channel we do it on. I'll host it if I have to. I would like to be there for you for the first time you ever watch this film. So
it's a good one.
We can make happen. It would really mean a lot to Ashley and I to be there for the first time you watch this film.
Man.
You too, Robin. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Such an
underrated film.
Dead Silence has an awesome aesthetic with all the grays and the reds.
Yeah.
And it has Donnie Wahlberg in it. And he's so amazing.
Yes.
Really? Donnie.
Yes.
Okay.
He definitely has he's got the comedy, like the dry.
You love to hate Donnie Wahlberg in this movie because he's so.
You do. Yeah.
Why'd you bury me, Jamie?
Yeah.
Such a great movie.
I'll tell you what, if Knight will agree to come with me on the panel, we got a package deal. We can make a deal.
Yeah, man.
We'll
absolutely.
do it. We will plan it tonight so we can make it happen. I would absolutely love nothing more than to spend the night with you gentlemen watching Dead Silence, a movie that me and Ashley watched for the first time we played house together. We were house sitting for my father when this movie came out, and it was the first time that her and I were in the house by ourselves, being husband and wife, and it was really cool. So this movie's very special to us too. So I would love to share this movie with you, Steven.
I feel like too. you know how like you have to watch something not scary. Like we played a
Yeah.
video game, like a South Park video
Yeah,
game or
afterwards.
something, like to like calm
To
our
calm
nerves.
ourselves up.
Yeah.
Peeing on the snowballs and throwing them at chickens. That was
Yeah.
us after that
Oh
movie.
my gosh.
Alien, the
Oh.
air shaft, the closet scene from The Ring.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of creepy puppet movies, so Dead Silence was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, Mr. Dan and Horror, thank you so much for that.
Yes.
It's not a child's play type doll movie, Steven. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not like the
Right.
dolls aren't even really the biggest part of the movie.
Right.
So I always tell
Okay.
people
Right.
like, oh, there's a ventriloquist doll. And they're like, oh, it's dolls. No. It's
Mhm.
not. I promise.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, Val, you know, nothing good happens when you have night vision.
Mm-mm.
So,
That's right.
Oh no.
The medical base scene in Aliens is also very jumperific. Insert didn't see that coming from Scream 2. I don't know if I still have it. No. I had to get rid of it to put some of our other scenes on. Figures. The one time we would have actually used it.
Right.
Yeah, I would have actually liked that. Hey, One Reel, how's it going?
Hey.
Where'd you go? I don't know why this went down to the
Hey.
bottom. What's
Hi,
up, One
One
Reel?
Hey.
One Reel
Hey.
Nerd also is making arcade cabinets, like old school arcade cabinets.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
so
Ooh.
dope. So if you guys haven't checked out One Reel Nerd, check them out. They're great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Darkness Falls. We just watched that not that long ago.
That's the Tooth Fairy
Tooth Fairy
one.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good one. Where we at? Smile trailer. I love this idea. They should have showed the Rose fake out kill rather than the sister's head falling off. I'm not going to go too
Yeah.
deep into it for those that haven't seen it, but that would have been a
Mhm.
genius thing to put in the trailer.
For sure.
What did you think, Dice? I gotta know. What was your opinion on Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and why did you think it was perfect? So I just need to know that. The woman screaming reflection and the woman in black,
Yeah.
another very good one. I have a
Mhm.
basement. Want to come to the basement, Ken and Ashley?
No.
Well, you don't have one, remember? We just talked about that. One Real Nerd, thank you for subscribing to everybody. I seen you subscribe to Shaheem, to Dice. Make sure you're subscribing to Night and Craven. Their links are in the description, and they are amazing content creators as well.
Yes, they are.
But that's what
Oh,
we're
thank
supposed
you.
to do.
Thank
When
you.
you see people in the chat, when you see people on the panel, subscribe to their channels as well. You know,
Yeah.
that's what we are here. We're a community, we're a family. So
Mhm.
that'll take us up to
Absolutely.
number 4, and that will be Steven starting us off at number 4.
Okay. Here we go. Now, this one was mentioned way back. I think it was one of Ashley's, perhaps, or Ken's, one of y'all's honorables. But it is the scene in Carrie. Again, taking you back to the way back,
Mhm.
whenever that arm grabs, and man, oh gosh, it got me, man. And I
Mhm.
remember that, and it doesn't help it that they're trying to wake up. I can't remember her character's name, but she's in the psych ward of the hospital.
Sue.
Remember Sue?
Sue.
And they're like,
Yep.
"Wake up!" And she just won't wake up, man. She's just screaming and grabbing at her arm, and it was terrifying when I saw that, and it was creepy. And
Yeah.
so, you know, it's one of those scenes that movies. It was a game changer in a way, because
Mhm.
look at all the movies that came after that imitated all
Mhm.
those last
Mhm.
minute scares. And I mean, Randy talks about, you know, the supposedly dead killer comes back for one last scare. Well, there you
Mhm.
go. You know, and that was
Mhm.
75, right? Something
Yeah.
like that.
76. Yep, 76.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was before, you know, would probably the most well known would be Friday the 13th, that ending
Mhm.
jump scare.
Exactly.
And I
Yes.
feel like if you watch Carrie, they even do the you know, the swelling of the violins, the
Yeah.
beautiful music, and then you
Mhm.
get that jump. Like, I think Friday the 13th completely stole that bit, which, you know, it is what it
Mhm.
is. How many horror movies have
Mhm.
stolen from other horror
Sure.
movies? That's what's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
But
True.
you know, it is
Yeah,
good to
man.
see.
Yeah, I mean, he completely acknowledged that. Like, yeah, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Halloween was doing good. Let's do that.
Let's
and
rip it off.
you know, like,
Mhm.
yeah, and even
Yeah.
like the score is so like psycho. Yeah, so
Well, he
Yes,
told
it
us when
is.
we were lucky enough to have an interview with Victor Miller, the creator of Friday the 13th,
Mhm.
and he told us straight up, like, I wanted to do Psycho meets Halloween.
Yeah,
That's what I wanted
it
to
was
do.
making money, and he
Yeah,
wanted to make
he
money
knew.
too. So
When
yeah.
Heck
when they
yeah.
originally sold Friday the 13th They didn't even have a movie. They sold it
Right.
because of the name.
Yeah.
Right.
They sold that movie because of the name. They're like, oh shit, we got to do something. Like, we got to write this.
That's right.
Wow.
So we will get to our number 4s, and that will be Steven starting us off.
Well, you talking about number 4?
You just did number 4.
I just
we
said
didn't.
that was my carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was scary.
This was
Oh,
scary.
he started us off. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started
I'm a
us off.
stupid
Yeah,
idiot.
He's just like
All
you're
right.
like rewinding.
I know.
I'm like,
We're stuck in a time loop now.
I know. I was like, didn't you just say that? Like,
Yeah, my fault. My fault.
Bro,
I'm an
it's-
idiot. So
Trust me.
my number
I've
4.
ran a live streamer too. I know how it can go. Trust
Right?
me.
I know.
Yes.
The fact that you can even make any sense during a live stream is a miracle.
It is true.
Especially with countdowns.
I mean, that's how I
Right.
feel. It's like it's crazy. You got so much going on.
So
It's like
much.
it's incredible.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. So my number 4 has not been talked about by the panel yet, but it has been called the most effective jump scare of all time. And it is
Ooh.
the shears in The Exorcist 3.
No.
Oh, I'm serious. That's been
Wow.
called the most
No,
effective
I
jump
know.
scare.
I know.
And
Never
it's just
seen
it's
it.
one of those moments where you've never seen The Exorcist 3?
No.
I know. I've been telling
Wow.
him he's got to see it.
Never
dude,
have, man.
I've been preaching.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you
like,
have. Nice
the,
for telling me.
The
It's
Exorcist.
such a hidden gem because Exorcist 2 was so horrible.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to watch anymore.
No, just joking.
Where's
Yeah.
Horror
I was
Monster
saying,
Monty
Knight,
G?
are we going to do this
I know,
right
Where's
now?
Monty?
I know. If Monty G is watching right now, he is cracking up because he's like, Knight, you said it wasn't that bad. I'm just saying.
Oh, it's garbage.
I was a kid. I was a kid and I was a fan of Linda Blair. What can you say? No, but it is a
Listen,
bad movie. It truly
Yeah.
is.
If somebody ever tells you The Exorcist 2 isn't a bad movie, show them this.
Oh,
Jeez.
no.
Oh my
Oh, that's
God,
too
man.
bad.
Listen, all right, hold on, man.
Oh,
you
that's
did all,
too bad.
you did all right, man. You had it on cue. All right,
Or-
that's
He
good.
did.
Or if you don't have time to get that, show them this.
Dude.
Really? Oh, come.
Stop.
Seriously.
Stop it. Dude,
No.
all right, hold on. Let me ask you something. All right, hold on. Let's
Dude.
stop for a second. First of all, why do you have it on cue? Why?
So, guys, coming up in a couple weeks, Ashley and I will be doing our top 10 worst horror movie sequels. Come and join us for that, and we might talk about The Exorcist too.
Sneak peek.
But
Oh, man.
I think that I honestly, God, I think, and this when you talk about the first 3 Exorcist movies, they are all the something. The first Exorcist, in my opinion, is the scariest movie I've ever seen.
Mhm.
The second Exorcist is the worst movie I've ever seen. The Exorcist
Wow.
3
Ooh.
is in my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time. When it comes
Whoa.
to the story and the movie,
Yeah.
I think The
Yeah.
Exorcist 3 is better than The Exorcist. Is it scarier? No.
No.
But is it what
right.
I prefer? More of a supernatural slasher? Yes,
Ooh.
it is. It is great. Brad Dourif gives one of the most
Oh,
amazing performances in that movie as the
yes.
Gemini killer.
He does.
Yep, he does.
I just think that The Exorcist 3 is genuinely one of my favorite movies of all time. And when I watched The Exorcist 3, at the end of that movie, I looked at Ashley and I said, I now hate The Exorcist 2
Even more because they
because I didn't watch The Exorcist 3 because of how bad
Yes.
The Exorcist 2 was. I was like, I'm done with this.
It's a good
franchise.
point.
That's a wrap for me.
and then 4 and 5 are like
Wow.
the same.
Yeah, 4 and 5 are the exact same movie.
I
They are literally
know.
the exact same.
It was
It's
like,
insane.
what?
It's-
It is.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
nuts.
my God.
But Steven,
Wow.
I'm telling you, I will fly to you with The Exorcist 3 and put it in the Blu-ray player myself. Just to make sure you watch it. That is the confidence I have that you will be a fan of that film, my
Yeah.
friend. So,
Oh
Sounds
yeah.
like a double
the Shears
feature,
jump
Ken.
scare for me.
Sounds like a
Dead
dead.
Silence,
dead
Exorcist 3.
Yeah.
I think we should do a double feature. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
that
I am
that is
in
a good double
100%.
feature.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Because you know what's going to happen now? It's going to be that thing where every time something happens, I'm going to be looking at Craven like, is he going to like it?
Oh no.
Craven,
Waiting
when,
for his
when you
response.
show when you show somebody something you like.
Waiting for the
Yeah.
response.
You do that to me all the time.
It's true. It
I
is
start
true
seeing your
though.
face get really close to the camera. I'll be like, oh no,
Something's gonna happen.
coming. Yeah,
Right.
it's coming. Exactly.
So so my back to reality. My number 4 is The Exorcist 3. What about you, my love?
So funny enough, my number 4 is The Exorcist 3 too.
You gotta be
It's just-
joking.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I said, "Are you serious?" And you were like, "Yeah." I don't know what you said.
I said, yeah, it is the scariest jump scare of all
that's what
time.
you said. But yeah,
Well, that's all making a lot more sense now.
just that lingering shot that seems like it takes forever. You're just waiting.
Right.
Like you can feel something in the pit of your gut, like you know something's about to happen, and it just lingers.
But you don't think it's going to be that.
right.
You don't.
And then
Yep.
the ghost cuts her shift short. No pun intended. But
Mm.
You can go home for the day.
yeah, well,
Yep.
yeah.
You've been a head and shoulders better than the rest, so we'll
Right.
let you go home for the day.
Right.
So, what about you, Knight? What's your number 4?
All right, you guys aren't gonna believe it, but seriously, The Exorcist 3 is my number 4 as well.
Oh, come on
I'm
now.
not playing. I'm
Collusion.
not. No, seriously, I got it written down. Exorcist 3 is my number 4, and
That's hilarious.
so I won't get too deep into it, but I just have one thing to say: George C. Scott, like
Amazing.
he was just absolutely fantastic in this movie, so underrated. Not as an actor, of course, but for his films that he did that were horror, like this, The Changeling. I absolutely love The Changeling. I mean, and his performance is just so good in The Exorcist 3. But in this particular scene, you're right, you don't know exactly what's going to happen. And what's interesting about it, not to spoil it for Steven, but the way it happens, it doesn't really make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like
it doesn't at all.
The timing of it doesn't make sense for the scare to happen when it does. And when it does happen, it's almost like, for me, it was almost like I was a half a second behind the scare.
Yes.
And it was like pouring over me and kind of like, and it's such an effective scare. The movie is fantastic. I agree with everything you guys said. Exorcist 3, so underrated. I've been preaching, Steven knows this, I've been preaching about it on the Lethal Collective. I've preached about it on my channel.
True.
And seriously, it's just a fantastic movie. So that's my number 4.
It is.
When Ken mentioned that a minute ago about calling it a slasher, supernatural, what have you,
A supernatural slasher.
one of the things Knight's been telling me, because he knows my slashers, like religious horror films are my least favorite to watch, because that's too close to a lot of real stuff that I've had to deal with in my life, and so I don't watch that stuff, generally speaking. But when Knight was telling me how, look, man, this has elements that's different. It's not going to be, and the slasher elements are in there, and he keeps encouraging me, and so I trust you guys, man. So if if you guys say it's one to watch, I'm up for it. Yeah.
And not only is it the slasher elements, but you get a lot. It's not like The Exorcist. Like, it really isn't. Like, you're in a lot broader of an area. You get a lot of very good practical effects with a lot of the kills. They have a killer in it. The Gemini killer is your villain in the movie.
Okay.
So I mean, I really think that you would like this movie, and it's scary, but there's funny parts too. Like, I haven't had a bath in a week. There's so many scary moments, but there's so many funny moments. I can't recommend this movie enough. So, before we get to our top 3, before we get to our bronze medal, let's catch up on the chat real quick. Wait, hold on. When I clicked over, I lost everything. Okay, so we're up here to Dice. Pee-wee's Big Adventure was interesting. It was a fun time for me, though I think my taste in humor and such is a bit different. I'm not accustomed to Pee-wee and how perfect it is. It's the best movie I've ever seen. Yeah, I agree, Dice. That all sounds pretty well. The grave scene from Carrie. Annabelle Creation, He Wants Your Soul. Very good. An American Werewolf in London, David's Two Dreams. Or no, it's not He Wants Your Soul. It's Your Soul. What do you want? Your soul. Yeah, I like that. That was a good one. Alan Arkin leaping at Audrey Hepburn and wait until hallway scene, Cairo. I've never seen that, so I don't know. If you know, you know, and I'm not one of them. Ready to play. Oh, Wishmaster. Very nice, Shaim.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I know, Dice. Very rarely does it happen. Eyes Without a Face inspired Michael Myers. Nice. I'm gonna have to check that out. Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
You got two of them, Craven. Get on Exorcist 3.
There you go.
I got it, Dice. I got you.
Yep, the shear is one of my favorite jump scares. Thank you. I'm assuming this is when I was right up into Craven's face. What about the Poltergeist films? Huge fan. Fan.
Love the Poltergeist.
Yep.
Love them.
Yes.
I think
yes,
Poltergeist
sir.
3. There's something about the threes for me.
Yeah. There
Friday
really
the 13th
is.
Part 3.
You're
Love
the,
it.
You're the
Child's
third.
Play 3. Love it. Exorcist 3. Love it. Poltergeist 3. Love it. Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Love it. Halloween 3.
Yeah.
Love it.
There
Scream
you do.
3 is
Stop.
Love it. Love it, Skin.
I do love Scream 3. Like I'm saying, like I don't hate Scream 3 like everybody else does.
Yeah.
I love watching Scream 3. I had such a fun time when I watch. It may
is
be
fun.
my least favorite in that
I was gonna
franchise.
say it's my least favorite, but it's still a good movie.
Here's the thing, okay? When I have breakfast in the morning and I have bacon, sausage, eggs, and toast, the sausage may be my least favorite, but you better believe I'm eating every last bite. Okay. And Scream 3 is my sausage of the Scream films. It may be my least favorite on the plate. I'm still going to eat every bite and enjoy it.
Least favorite?
Out of sausage, bacon, eggs, and toast?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird.
But what I'm saying is, moral of the story. I love everything on the plate. Okay.
Okay.
Even though my least favorite part of the plate is very good.
I like it.
Right.
Good.
All right.
This is a good one right here. Paperboy and Griffin's introductions in the black phone.
Yeah.
Craven's gonna know when something is coming up when he feels Ken breathing on him through the screen.
Right.
That's right.
That's awesome. Hey, have a wonderful night, Boomer.
Have a
We
good
appreciate
one.
you so much.
Have
man.
a good one.
Take care.
My number one is the Abomination introduction from Evil Dead 2013.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Ooh, yeah.
Weird.
Ken, you can't just go around saying you don't like sausage. I love sausage, guys. Come on. It depends though. Patties or links. If we're patties, daddy's in.
I was gonna say.
Patty daddy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give a little bit of a long-winded response here for my number 3. Not too long-winded, but I'm going to tell you why I chose what I chose. It's The Conjuring.
Okay.
It is not Hide and Clap because I saw that in the trailer, so I saw it coming. But what got me is when he hears a noise and he walks to the other room and he walks out of frame.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when he starts walking back and the lady comes out of nowhere, look what she made me do. And her wrists are all caught up.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. When I was scared at that moment. Like self-harm is something that scares me. Like Steven was talking about with like the supernatural with religious stuff. It's very real. And we've all known people that have either gone through that or we've lost someone to that. Just like in The Sixth Sense, you know, well, you can't hurt me anymore.
Yes.
You know, like those things really, really, really bother me. They really scare me. And to have the intensity of a jump scare to go along with it, that's why my number 3 is Look What She Made Me Do from The Conjuring. That's one that just gets me. It rocks me to my core.
It's a good one.
So my number 3, maybe not everybody would think this is a horror movie.
I know it.
But it's from What Lies Beneath. And it's I don't know if you know which scene I'm gonna be talking about. It's nope, it's the part where she is spying on her neighbor. We've all spied on our neighbor once or twice before,
This is
right?
a good one.
And she's watching him and she loses track of him only to find that he's actually now watching her, and just like the intensity and you know, her seeing him and then her ducking down like, oh, he's seen me watching him. It scared me. Like it's such a fear, you know, because I mean, who hasn't spied on their neighbors
And had their wife turn the light on while you were standing in the dark window.
yeah
Real quick.
okay I was done spying, and so
Something was going on in our neighbor's house. Okay.
there was like a bunch of police officers over
And we
there.
had a body window, and I'm in my boxers looking out the window. And we had all the
have
lights
all the
shut
lights
off.
off.
And Ashley walks away and turns the light on, and I'm still standing there like, Ashley, what are you doing?
Right?
I was like, I don't know, I was done.
I just want to know who does not consider What Lies Beneath the Horror movie, because that is a total.
I think it is. I totally think it is.
There's at least 3 jump scares that come right to the top of my head that could have been on this list. The peephole,
her in the
neighbor, and her in the bathtub.
Well, what about when
in
she
the tub?
Yep. When she actually, like, when they're actually in the lake
and she does the turn. Yes,
that part.
Absolutely. Yes. Like, I think, and Robert Zemeckis, the guy that directed Back to the Future, he did this movie. And you could totally see Psycho thumbprints all over this movie.
Sure.
Oh,
that's, again, one of our Didn't See That Coming episodes that's coming up. We did a lot of behind the scenes info on this. So this is maybe one of my favorite episodes we've ever done because of the depth that Ashley went in the special features and stuff to get the connections between What Lies Beneath and Psycho. Like she crosses, she connects the dots on a lot of the connections that Robert Zemeckis has made public that he had with Psycho. The box for this DVD and for the VHS says this movie does for bathtubs what Psycho did for showers.
Yeah.
Like they literally Psycho, and the score, certain scenes are all direct homages to Psycho. So I love the fact that you put What Lies Beneath on here, because that's a fantastic, fantastic movie. So
yeah.
What about you, Knight? What's your wait, that was number 3, right?
Yep.
Knight,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm number 3.
Yeah, Knight's number 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, we got it.
My number 3, well, we've already talked about this one. I absolutely love this movie, and I just did a watch party for it last week on it. We've been doing Stephen King watch parties. It is a fantastic movie by Brian De Palma. We're talking about Carrie. And listen, I'm just going to be honest here. The end of this movie, it got me so scared. I literally walked out of the living room. We were watching it. My dad's in the living room. My mom, my brother, he was too young at that point to even remember this, but it's such a weird sequence. We talked about it, but just to say this real quick, it's such a weird sequence because you're so invested in Carrie, at least I am as a viewer, that when, she dies, it's almost like, what? What? Is that it? And then Sue's walking down the street, goes to the house. The house is obviously buried, and there's the cross there. And you're just so wrapped up in the emotion of what has happened before that I wasn't processing what was going to happen. You have the beautiful music, the beautiful Amy Irving is looking so sad and regret because of what happened to Carrie and so forth. And then all of a sudden, boom, when she puts the flowers down, the hand comes up. It's like, what? And it just gets me every single time. I literally just watched it on last Wednesday, and live. I was just like, whoa, and it was just. It's such a great scene, man. It's a great movie, and I had to have it on my list. So Carrie's number 3 for me.
All right.
I hate to shamelessly plug again, but me and Ashley's February episode of Versus is on Carrie.
There you go.
The Carrie remake and the original. So we have that coming up as well. So what about you, Steven? What's your number 3?
So coming in at number 3 for me is one that I think at least 2 of you have mentioned. So I won't spend a lot of time on it, but it was the severed head in Jaws. And what an effective scene when Hooper dives into the boat. And I didn't know that was an after addition. That was new. I didn't know. So that was very brilliant. And when that flashlight and boom, there it is. How could you not jolt? Like jump and jolt at that? And that's man, it was super well done. Again, going back to an older movie, but when I saw these for the first time, I mean, these are the things you remember when you were kids, you're growing up and you're seeing these movies. So I had to put it on my list at number 3 because of that time of my life when I saw it. For sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, before we get to our number 2, we will catch up on the chat real quick. Scream 3 is a movie you'd have the most fun with, especially with a group of friends to watch it with. It's a good movie. I'm not going to argue that. I love Scream 3. Absolutely love it. Hey, Josh, thanks for stopping in, man. Nice to see you, even just for a little bit. The Conjuring 2's My House. Just being alone in the house during the daylight and hearing strange noises as a kid was terrifying. And it has one of my favorite scenes in The Conjuring 2 when they're all singing Elvis Presley together. What a beautiful moment. What a beautiful moment for that whole family to be doing that. And he looked like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
What Lies Beneath on the horror rack? Of course, because it's horror movie
for sure.
Honk Honk, the creeper horn jump scare. I haven't seen that movie in so long, don't even remember. We got the blood test, we got the ending scene, we got some Exorcist 3, getting some more Carrie love in there. I think I prefer Carrie remake to the OG.
Wow.
There's a TV movie remake with Angela Bettis. But if you guys, one thing you'll know, we did our Carrie, we purposely did that one for February because, you know, they're going to prom and we feel like there's a lot of, you know, the love that happens in that movie. That's why it's our February episode.
Or lack of love for poor Carrie.
I think people will be surprised at what we decided in that, our verses on what we chose. So
yeah,
maybe people will be pleasantly surprised as to why we went with what we went with. So you want to give us your number 2, my love?
Sure. So my number 2 is Sinister, and it had to be the lawnmower scene. It's just something about, it's filmed on the Super 8 film. You know, it's eerie. You have that weird, like, the score that's going on.
Sound design.
Yeah, the sound design is so weird and creepy. And it's the middle of the night. It's raining, and they're mowing the lawn. You know, and, and
don't even get me started on that. You're going to ruin your blades.
You're right.
I'm just throwing that out there. You are going to ruin your blades.
And you know, you're gonna have all that wet grass. Like that's the horror of it, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, it just this is another one that just lingers. It feels like it goes on forever, and then you get that terrifying, almost like demonic sounding scream, and then you see that family member there, and it gets me every time. Every time we watch this movie, I know it's coming, and I still jump. Like that's how effective it is. So it had to be my number 2.
And that's perfectly fair. What about you, Knight? What's your number 2?
My number 2 is a movie that is, to me, is very underrated by one of the greatest of all time as far as directors of horror. I'm going with Prince of Darkness from John Carpenter.
Ooh.
And I absolutely, listen, it's underrated as hell in my opinion, because I love Prince of Darkness. I really do. Obviously, one of his Apocalypse trilogy with The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness. At the end of the movie, after everything happens, and you know, although it's an old movie, I won't get into super detail, but at the end of the movie, when everything seems like it's kind of done and over, you have Brian, who's one of our leads. Great cast, by the way. He wakes up and he thinks everything's okay, and then he turns over to his side and boom, and it's like, what? You know, and it's like, what the heck? And anyways, it's a great ending, and that's not even the very last thing, because then he's trying to figure out, wait a minute, what's real, what's not? Did everything that happened, did it really happen? And he goes up to that mirror and he starts to put his hand towards the mirror to see if, you know, there's another dimension, and it cuts just like that. I mean, this is like back in the day. This is way before Inception. It's kind of like, okay, wait a minute, what did it happen? Did it not? Prince of Darkness, fantastic movie, and that jump scare always got me when I was watching it. Always.
Nice.
That's a fantastic choice. What about you, Steven?
All right, for mine is it's number 2, man. It has to be the jump on the boat from Jason Voorhees at the end of that movie. I mean, you said it earlier, guys. The setup was perfect. You know, we even had the nice music. The cops were there. She's safe. And you're like, okay, you know, what an incredible movie. You know, this woman was nuts. This woman was insane. You're kind of decompressing. And then all of a sudden, slow motion. Oh my gosh. And then drags her down. And that's the movie. I'm like, what? So what a powerful ending to that movie. Yeah. That's
absolutely
incredible, man.
So my number 2, we're going to go back to that Houdini thing again. And we're going to talk about what's over here, and then something happens over here. And it's Insidious with the lipstick face demon. Now, we always talk about the lipstick face demon, but right before the lipstick face demon jump scare, you have the mom talking about seeing the demon in Dalton's room, and the demon standing in the corner. And she asks what it wants, and it points over to Dalton. And in our brains, we're like, well, that's it. That's the scare right there. And then boom, it's right there in your face again. So the whole time we're like, oh, look here's the demon. It's in the corner. You're going to forget all about, bam, here I am. You know, and it's like, I should have watched your other hand. You know,
That's
so
right.
like I love how they did that whole scene. It's just oh man, I can't put into words how intelligent James Wan was for creating this. Like that was just brilliant. It was amazing. So my number 2, Lipstick Face Demon, Insidious. Now we're gonna catch up on the chat before we get to our number 1s. Knight, it'll be you starting us off. So as always, when we get there, we just ask if you would please start at your honorable mentions and work your way up to number 1 for people that came in a little bit late. We got The Thing blood test. We did these ones already. I'm not doing them again. You guys already had your chance. Valak shadow walking across the wall into the picture in The Conjuring 2. The scariest thing the nun has ever done. Yes, we all love the Super 8. So good. Lawnmower from Sinister. A lot of Lawnmower from Sinister on here. Maria Bava's shock in 1977. The son running towards mom turns into dead husband right in front of her. Wow, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
Carpenter is good.
Yes,
you
he
spelled
is.
God wrong. No, I'm just kidding. The Woman in Black hanging herself. Yeah, The Woman in Black is just a very good movie that's underrated because, again, PG-13, and it had Daniel Radcliffe coming right off his Harry Potter stuff. So I don't think people gave it. It's one of the best remakes, I think, in my opinion.
Very good.
The Thing blood test. Michael popping up from the backseat of Annie's car right before he strangles her, were the perfect timing of Jonathan Carpenter's musical cue in 1978. Wow, you picked the one thing that happened in 1978 that didn't take 10 years to come to fruition. Great job, T. Parker.
It doesn't take 10 years. It is pleasantly timed.
I'm kidding.
It is pleasantly timed.
But just so you guys know, this Wednesday, tune into Sledgehammer Horror and you'll see our interview with Sandy Johnson, who played the OG Judith Myers in 1978. And you will see how horror started for Sandy. So on her My First Horror Movie episode.
Nice.
That is a great the Chucky head turn.
Yeah.
In
yes.
1988. The boy dancing in the window in Insidious is super creepy. Yeah, that Tiny Tim.
Tiptoe.
Yes. The Woman in Black is one of the few horror movies my brother actually likes. That's difficult to achieve. Well, I don't blame him because it's a great movie.
It is a good movie.
2A, A Severed Head in Jaws. Also, I think we're gonna get a 2B on that one with Dice. All right, so Knight, you want to give us your honorable mentions up through number 1, my friend?
Yes. So I have for honorable mentions, I have Psycho, the shower scene. I just had to have that as a mention. Great scene. The Conjuring, the hand clap scene was another honorable mention that I had. My number 10 was Jaws. My number 9 was Raiders of the Lost Ark. My number 8 was Signs, when they first see the alien. My number 7 was Dawn of the Dead, when the zombies come into the elevator. Number 6 was Insidious. 5 was Alien. 4 was The Exorcist 3. Number 3 was Carrie at the end. And my number 2 was The Prince of Darkness from John Carpenter. And listen, I mean, you get, come on, you guys knew what my number 1 was going to be. You know what got me here. Look, it's Friday the 13th. Okay, man. Look, this was the movie that got me into horror. This was the movie that
I knew that.
Yeah, you did. Right?
Yes,
you're all right, man. But yeah, I mean, it literally got me into horror. It started my path, and the ending is so well done, and it's so true. It takes so many cues from Carrie, as it should. But the thing about Friday the 13th that was really interesting about that ending was Mrs. Voorhees was killed, and she had spent so much time talking about her son Jason. He was dead, and this was the whole reason for the events of the movie. So for me, I had no thoughts about Jason, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because he's dead.
Right.
And Adrienne King, she's amazing. I got a chance to meet her at a convention, and she's such a lovely lady. And I literally told her, it was all you, you got me into horror. She was just so amazing. But that ending,
all for you, Adrienne.
Right. I got so many hugs from her. She is amazing. I mean, she was just so kind and so humble and just amazing. But the music is playing, and the way she made it. She survived, and then they hold that for so long, and then boom, Jason comes out, and you're like, wait a minute, who's that? What? what's going on? And then of course how it all ends with, where's the boy? And there was no boy. And well, that means he's still out there. And it's like, ooh, the jump scare scared the crap out of me, but it allowed me to understand that, hey, I survived this horror movie. I can do this.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I sought out horror because I had finally overcome my own fear of horror with Friday the 13th, especially the jump scare. So there we are.
Well, you do know that it has been confirmed that Adrienne King is going to be a part of Crystal Lake.
Yes, baby.
Nice.
I'm so excited, man.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Oh, it's just, man, you know me, man. Don't get me going on Friday 13th. I'm so excited to have her come back, man, because the thing of it is, and I've been lucky enough to meet a few of the Friday folks. They're just so cool, man. They just seem to have. They are. I haven't met one that is not, and it is what it is. But they just seem to appreciate the fact that, like, right now, I'm talking about a movie that's 50 years old, almost 50 years old, and they love the fans, and they just appreciate the fact that we appreciate what they've done. So I'm really excited for Adrienne. She's amazing. She really, really is.
Yeah. Especially after everything that she went through. After Friday the 13th.
Yes.
That was a very scary. Again, we talk about real life horror. That was a real life horror story. For those of you that don't know, after the release of Friday the 13th, Adrienne King had a stalker that literally was a ghost face type stalker stalking after her. And that really distanced her away. There was a fan film, not a fan film, but a film that came out called 13 Fanboy. About somebody, and she was initially tied to the project, and once she started reading it, she couldn't do it. She couldn't be a part of it.
Close
it was
to home.
Real.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And that's a heartbreaking thing, and I'm glad that she's at this stage in her life now where she can, I'm sorry for the pun, revisit Crystal Lake.
Yes.
We love horror. Some people take it too far.
That's right.
These are still human beings. And they still have boundaries, and you need to respect those. So
they're actors. They're doing a job. That's their job. Like we all go to work. We do our jobs.
Yep.
These people are actors. They're doing their work. This is like us going to work. It's like It's like you're just doing what you're paid to do. Sure you love it.
I can't tell you.
But
I can't tell you how many people I have waiting outside the Napa store for me, like, Ken, Napa know-how.
Yeah.
I need to know what you need. It happens.
Are you closing?
Yeah.
You're
Are you guys open yet?
I'll tell you what. But
I do have that Napa know-how. So you want to give us your list, Stephen, from honorable mentions up to number one, brother?
Yeah, man. So real quick recap. So my one honorable mention was Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Number 10, Last Starfighter, when the android was taking on the human form for Alex, and he turns over in the bed. From 7, The Sloth, which was the dude who was in the room, not bandaged, but strapped down to the bed with the trees hanging up. House on Haunted Hill from 59, not the remake, where the old lady basically floats across the room. Psycho, the original, when we see Mother in the rocking chair as a mummy. And then Smile, the sister's head flips upside down at the car window. Number 4 is Carrie grabbing the girl's arm. What a great ending. Number 3 is the severed head in Jaws, where they take it down there with the flashlight, and bam, there's the head and the severed head. That one. And then number 2 is Jason Voorhees at the lake at the end of Friday, jumping onto the to grab her from the boat is not number 2. And finally, my number 1 is one that and I think I've been on, Kim, when I've been on your channel, I've shared this particular movie as being one of the only horror movies that has actually scared me as an adult. Most of these on the list, I was young, but this one, I was full blown a grown man, and it didn't matter. It was The Ring, and that movie to this day, I've never watched it again since then. It messed me up so bad, And when she opens up the closet door, and there's that girl's face and all that, dude. I was like, oh, it just made me cringe up, tighten up, and cringe up, and that whole movie is unsettling to me, and I've never gotten myself to go back to watch it. I just can't do it.
Right. I mean, I understand why, and that is a very effective scene. It's a very effective scene because it's not something that's a build-up.
Right.
You know, you're literally at her funeral. You know, I saw her face. You just get that cut. Boom.
Yes.
Perfectly timed. Beautifully timed. Perfectly timed jump scare. I love the list, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was like Knight said, there's so many possibilities, man, of what you can do. But I mean, some of these just had to be because of where they were in our lifetime.
That's right.
Yes. Them is what made the list.
All personal.
Yeah. All personal. That's right.
So I'm gonna give you my honorable mentions up to number 1. Honorable mentions were Carrie, the ending, obviously. It Follows, The Tall Man, Friday the 13th ending, House, Aunt Elizabeth hanging at the beginning, The Ring, I Saw Her Face, Jaws, The Tooth Head in the Boat, Smile, Rose at the Laptop. Number 5, Large Marge, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, when they pulled her body from the burning wreck. Number 4, The Exorcist 3. Number 2, The Conjuring, Look What She Made Me Do. Number 2, Insidious, The Lipstick Face Demon. And the most effective jump scare, the one that has scared me more than any other jump scare in the history of jump scares, goes to... Every time.
Just got me now.
Every single time. Lawnmower and Sinister. What you were talking about, my love, when you have the sound design. Boom, 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 you know, and that's one thing about Sinister that I'll say is even if you're not a fan of those type of movies, this movie has such a great sound design. I'm not talking about the score. The score is great too, but the sound design and all the Super 8 films is just so fantastic. And like I said, Ashley and I just did a Didn't See That Coming episode that I'll be premiering in a couple months on it, which I'm still fighting tooth and nail to get on.
That's for sure.
So we did a lot of behind the scenes research, and this movie literally stemmed from them, the Super 8s. They had a dream. The director had a dream about them. And they brought the Super 8s. They filmed all those and then built the story around them.
They did. The Super 8s were first. And they did it
on actual Super 8 film. They actually filmed those on Super 8 film for authenticity. One other thing I want to talk about, because even though that's my favorite jump scare in that film, there's something much scarier in that film. Do you want to talk about this? The real life horror of Sinister and what the actors had to go through?
Oh, you mean the pool scene? Yeah, so
this is real. This is 100% genuine. Look into this.
The one reel, the pool party reel, where it's at night and they're getting dragged into the pool and they're all chained to the chairs. They're underneath. They were really doing that. Like that was real. Like they were really all under the water. And even Bagul, he had weighted shoes on and they were giving him oxygen and stuff. But yeah, they were actually down there holding their breaths for, who knows how long. Like that right there, that gives me anxiety. Like there's no
imagine a poolside lounge chair.
That makes me
getting pulled into
not
your
even
pool.
be able to breathe. Like that's one of my biggest fears. That's why I have a really hard time watching that movie where they're trapped
47 meters down.
Like that that makes me feel like I can't breathe.
So that's one thing. I think that's the scariest part when I'm watching the movie, now that I know that these actors are really taped.
Well, that's like real life. Who knows what could have gone wrong?
Well, it's just like 2013's Evil Dead. They really buried her alive at the end of that movie. When they were burying her alive, then dug her up to defibrillator. They really buried her alive at that moment. So there's just so many real life horror things that, like, I watch these. I'm like, that's freaking dedication, man.
Yeah, and
that is dedication.
That is dedication. Like I said, they're doing a job, and like they're willing to go that far. So
all right, well, I have Ashley's number 1 ready. I don't know what it is. It just says Ashley 1 here in the description. So you want to give us your honorable mentions all the way up to number 1?
Sure. I had 2 honorable mentions, and it was Poltergeist, the clown, And then I have The Ring, The Closet.
I know what your number 1 is.
10 is The Blood Test from The Thing. 9 is The Descendant, The Crawlers in the night vision goggles. 8 is American Werewolf in London, The Two Dreams. 7 is 1408, The Window Scene. 6 is Lights Out, the lights going on and off. Number 5 is The Conjuring, The Hide and Clap. 4 is Exorcist 3, The Scissors. 3 is What Lies Beneath, her spying on her neighbor. Number 2 is Sinister, the lawnmower scene. And my number 1, I think everybody has talked about this one. And
I gotta play
go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I mean, you guys all have had great points about it, but just like the cracking of like the bones and that loud noise when, you know, first you see him in the dream and it's really kind of quiet. And then you go back and you have that loud noise and the cracking of the bones and he's just right there next to him. Gets me every time.
Yep.
Very scary, very effective.
So I real quick before we I want to catch up on the chat real quick before I give our goodbyes. Where the cat people, there it is. Cat people. The bus stop is the first jump scare in a horror movie. Very, very nicely done. We got Jason jumping through the window in Friday the 13th part 2. The jackal attacks Kathy in 13 Ghosts.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's a really good one. Since no one has mentioned it, my number 1 is the red-faced demon popping up from behind Josh and Insidious.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Bearded MT?
Hey.
What's up, Eric?
I like the Friday series. I've said before, I wish it was better overall. The only two I really don't like are Jason Takes Manhattan and Jason X. If somebody says a freaking word about Jason Goes to Hell, I swear to God, that movie's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Stop.
Night.
We're going to be talking about sequels that should never been made, right?
Hey, Jason Goes to Space is amazing.
My Arthur meme is not happy right now. Smash that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Not just to Sledgehammer Horror, but also to these amazing people. They are so great. Oh, I'm sorry, Dice. I forgot. Dice is the one that's outside of Napa. Like, Ken, we love your starters. Will you sign my headlight for me?
Right.
Wes is still alive in the Road Warriors.
Oh,
nice.
That's a good one.
Oh, I have a story about the missing scene from the original theater release and the android. And which scene is that? One Real? I would like to know. I think it's the Last Starfighter. Okay, there it is. Mr. Craven, something scary. This was the most fun I've had on the chat and a live stream in a while. Thank you, sir. He is great. Make sure you're subscribed to Craven and Night as well. They are amazing. The Ring, you're not alone, Nightwatch Zone. Much love to you as well, Afro Whale. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
We're so honored to have you here. Oh yeah, host every appearance of the demon. That's awesome. Awesome stream. Thank you guys. Now I got to watch all these movies tonight. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you better shut your whole mouth.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow,
man.
Those two.
Well.
Yeah. I don't know. What
Night's like, well, maybe he's right.
I don't know.
Steven. This is how I feel when all of you start talking like this. This is how I feel.
Oh gosh.
Oh man. Oh dude.
As you should.
Oh
gosh.
You should feel like that being a fan.
Yeah. So I just want to say again, everybody that stopped out in the chat, or if you're watching this on a replay, thank you for spending your time with us. We know this went a little long, but when I get with these guys, we just don't want to stop.
Yeah.
You know, it's like an LMFAO. You know, it's a party rock anthem, and the party don't stop. You know, like so we have so much fun hanging out with these gentlemen, and I get to spend some quality time with my wife. This is something that means a lot to the both of us. So everybody in the chat that came by, everybody watching this on a replay, you have our hearts. We genuinely thank you. Thank you for supporting not just us, but other content creators that are pouring their heart and soul into everything they do on their channel. So again, I'm going to say this one last time. Make sure you're subscribing to the Nightwatch Zone and Craven Something Scary, because here's the thing. You don't have to go far. Scroll down into the description, click those links. All you gotta do is hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're also turning on that bell so that way you can get notifications on not only when they're going live, but when they're releasing their new content as well. So Night and Craven, please don't go anywhere. We want to try to figure a couple things out with you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Everybody else, as always, keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Guys.
Bye.
We get to wait 10 minutes for the broadcast.